Hey, sports fans. I want to tell you about the easiest way to get in on some action on sports. It's called our partners Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite or least favorite player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Underdog keeps it super simple with their easy-to-use website and mobile app. Pick between 2 and 5 players to fill out your pick'em entry, get every pick right, and you can take home some cold hard cash. All you have to do is use the promo code 10K and get your first deposit doubled up to $100 by Underdog. Once again, that's code 10K when you sign up for the Underdog app, or you can go to www.underdogfantasy.com, or you can even click the link in the show notes to get your first deposit doubled by Underdog Fantasy today. On today's episode of It's a Bit, we're joined by our friend Kevin Falness, member of Minnesota Wild Radio, host of Beyond the Pond podcast on KFAN. I also call him an internet troll. If you follow him on Twitter, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to do a little season preview of the Wild now that they're only a few weeks out from camp. We're also going to talk about various Minnesota sports topics such as Gopher football, the Vikings loss to the Bucks, the Minnesota Twins are still playing on the playoff push, and go through our bits of the week as always, and end the show by doing something we haven't done in a while, canceled, because it's 2023. We can cancel whoever and whatever we want. So we give ourselves the power to do that. So all of that and more on It's a Bit.
To the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop. Never stand still, that's the motto. Yeah, brand new bands for the auto. Oh, foot to the ground, full throttle. Big energy for the night like lotto. Damn, y'all talk lots, never this quiet. Life like a Seinfeld plot. Vault full of songs, all of them bombs. Something like a minefield guy. Boom. Get it, tickets running out quick. Bet it, never get it out big.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of It's a Bit, presented by 10,000 Takes. My name is Bossman, joined by producer Cam, journalist Jake, and Wags. And fellas, fall is officially here. Crisp is in the air. Gopher football is fully back. The Vikings are kind of back, even though they didn't win. The Twins are on the playoff push. We got the Ryder Cup in a couple of weeks. We are close to the Minnesota sports paradigm, actually the sports paradigm in general, and we get full participation in it this year. So how are you fellas feeling about fall and sports being back?
I'd be feeling a lot better if the Vikings could have beat the fucking Buccaneers.
Yeah, that was a little depressing, but it's 1 week.
I had a mute moment.
I forgot to ask you about it. I mean, I didn't get to talk to you after the game, so you must have just went mute.
Yeah, I had a mute moment.
So what happened? What were you? So game ends. What's going on in your mind?
I'm just pissed. So
Yeah.
then I don't say anything. My phone completely died, so I was even more mad about that. Actually, I wasn't more mad about it, but it just added on to the fuckery that just happened. So then I walk back to my truck because I was going to go to the tailgate afterwards and proceed to drink my feelings away, which I really wanted to do. And then I got into my truck, put my phone on the charger, and then sat there and I almost threw up. I felt like shit. I don't know what happened. So that was great. Came home and just slept the rest of the night. It was a horrible time.
What was a worse feeling? Losing that game with 4 turnovers, a game that we clearly should have won, or after that Giants playoff loss last year? Because I've never seen you that mad last year.
It was the Giants playoff.
Yeah.
loss,
Okay.
sure.
Good. Just making sure you're on the good level right now.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
It's week 1. I'm not worried about it. It's just I was just mad. Wait, I saw you after that game?
Yeah, you saw both Jake and I. Jake started giving you shit about Carlos Correa.
Yeah, the Giants game. Not this past weekend.
No,
but
I
yeah,
know.
That's when I knew you were very upset, and we had already, even before the game ended, before the game even started, we had to come up with a plan about why it was a bad idea to re-sign Carlos Correa, and I was going to do it whether the Vikings won or not.
Still a terrible idea.
Still
Right.
awful.
And I wanted to kill you.
Yeah, and after
Like
that,
I
you were
always
already
want to do.
upset about obviously the Vikings losing in a playoff game at home, and I knew that was just going to be salt to the wound, and I really went with it.
Well, it's so funny because you told Cam that we could have signed someone better than Carlos Correa with the money we spent for Carlos Correa, and we both knew that he would respond by saying who. So you got a line ready to go. What was that line again?
What are you, an owl or something? I knew you were going to do that.
I would have stabbed you.
Yeah. Well, you could have.
Speaking of Jake pissing me off, it happens all the time. It's going to be so bad, I think, coming up, because I started I stopped vaping, actually,
For
yesterday.
For the 10th time, though?
No, the second.
Okay.
Which I did stop for 2 years, but now I'm on edge, and Jake's just going to fucking drive me up the wall. I already know.
I'm just going to look at him, and it's going to drive him up the
You
wall.
gotta give him those crazy eyes.
Because I can't
still got the
imagine.
zins, so we're okay.
Well, then you're fine, Cam. You got something to substitute it for.
Did you see there was a neurological scientist, Andrew, what's his name?
Huberman?
Yeah, I like him a lot. He actually came out and talked about how like nicotine in its purest form, without tobacco, without smoke, without all that, is actually good for your brain.
Yeah.
There's like all these studies on how it connects all these wires and how it strengthens the transmitters, as he's throwing one in right now. So you're clear. Doctors have cleared you to Zen.
Let's go. That's
but
actually I didn't hear that study, but that's the greatest fucking
Aren't
news.
there other ingredients in Zen pouches?
Probably.
Yeah. So
That are
that's-
bad
when
for you.
especially when you chew on them like bubblegum, Jake.
right.
It's kind of like when they
Well, but-
tell you that fruit has like a ton of sugar in it. You're like, I don't care. There's enough health in it to where I can offset that sugar.
Yeah, if you're gonna say
Well, fruit
one,
is natural
if you're gonna,
sugar.
for me, like I'm not a healthy person. If you're gonna say one healthy thing about something, I'm gonna eat it all the time or use it all the time.
Well, you could say just like nicotine in its purest form, like Jack was saying,
Yeah.
it gets everything together and helps you become smarter. Same with caffeine.
That's
caffeine does the same
in
exact
its purest
thing.
form is
And
also healthy.
Literally, my bloodstream is caffeine. So
I think all except for
I mean,
Jake.
caffeine and nicotine, you have to have like the greatest brain of all time.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're Iron Man.
I just need alpha brain, and then I'll be a fucking
True.
genius.
True. A little bit of ayahuasca in there. All right. Well, speaking of the Vikings, we were just talking about that. Let's talk about the game. You guys were actually there on Sunday. Actually, you did something before the game. Let's get into that first.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last week. The buddy games with how do we say it now?
Josh Duhamel.
Josh
Josh
Duhamel.
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 Oh, yeah,
I
that's
like
what-
that better. Yeah, but essentially he's doing it's based off his movie. He's doing. We explained it all last episode, but yeah, based on his movie, he's doing also a reality TV kind of thing, game show with CBS. We got to participate it with the Vikings last Sunday before the game in the common area. And it was actually we did really well. I'm pretty surprised. I thought I kind of figured we were gonna get last, but we got 5th out of 20
Yeah,
teams.
we got 5th. I was going in nervous for the first event, which was like the biking or whatever.
You had to bike.
Yeah, they set up an
Yeah.
obstacle course and it was a relay race.
Yeah, there'll be a video hopefully out at some point this week showing us biking, and it was really weird, but it was super fun though. I mean, we had to go around a bunch of cones and everything, and it was interesting. But I was sitting there like, we're not going to win this. I have a feeling we're gonna get eliminated right away, and it's going to be very embarrassing. But we dominated that one.
Yeah, I
Killed
mean,
it.
I was the first one to go through for our team for the relay race with the bikes, and as soon as I got done, Josh just ran right up to me and was like, "I love your hat, I love your sweatshirt. Where'd you get that?" And I had the pleasure of saying, "It's 10,000 takes, sir." It was absolutely awesome. He followed us on Instagram.
It's our bit.
It's our bit, and we're gonna send him some stuff later. We'll get in touch with him. That was awesome. But the very next challenge after the relay race is they got out the jugs machine, and then they gave us punts.
I was going to say the jugs machine at first. Maybe it's because I'm a porn guy, but I assume that was something else.
It's where you put
Okay.
footballs in it and flings
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
essentially, they had it on their punt mode, so they flung it, super high into the air. Zooch started it off, beautiful catch. I went next, caught it easy as pie, and then unfortunately, we had Zooch and Jacob
There's
over here.
Marlo.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, thank you. We had Marlo and Jacob over here. It was their turns to catch the kick after Zooch and I set up the team for glory, and they both dropped.
Yeah,
it.
I dropped it.
Marlo's a hockey guy, different type of gloves.
I
Jake's
wouldn't
a
even
hockey
say-
goalie, different type of glove. See,
I wouldn't-
I'm already on top of it for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say I dropped. I barely touched
You
the
didn't
ball.
get that
It was,
close
it was
to
way
it.
too
Here's
far
the
ahead.
question,
Because
Jake.
it wasn't the issue is, and it was good because they wanted to keep everybody on their feet. It didn't launch in the same spot every time.
Yeah.
But sometimes it would go over people's heads. And what I do in like softball still is I will always not go back far enough, and it goes over my fucking head. And I saw that happen to a couple people, and I was deathly scared that was going to happen. So I'm sitting at whatever 5 yard line. I took 2 steps back, and it turns out the ball was way too far fucking ahead,
And
I didn't even get to it in time.
Analytical
It
question
sucked.
for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hungover were you during this challenge?
None. I wasn't very hungover. I was just on like 4 hours of sleep. I didn't.
So what if you weren't drinking? Why did you only sleep 4 hours?
Because he's a fucking maniac.
I don't think he sleeps at all.
I don't. Well, no, like that Saturday night, I didn't drink a lot because I knew I had to be up for it. I was just up kind of late, unfortunately.
kind of late. You were up till
yeah.
what, like
2, almost 2.
Yeah, because we had to check in. You had to check in at 8 a.m. at the Commons area. So that meant you had to be at U.S. Bank Stadium by 8 a.m. So you're going to sleep at 4 a.m. for an 8 a.m. event?
I didn't go to sleep at 4 a.m. I got home a little before 2, went home, and I passed out right away. Woke up to my alarm around 6:30. Felt a little groggy, but I had
That's crazy person behavior.
no.
you
but,
are a
but
maniac.
that's why I'm saying, like, if I drank like I'd done on some Saturday nights, like, kicking back shit ton of drinks, that would have been horrible.
You're actually not real. You're not a real person.
No,
Sure,
You-
but
when
I
that
wouldn't have.
woman
I would have
saw
barely
you
been
on
able to
the
wake
plane,
up.
you were the person who wasn't real.
Yeah, I wasn't real. This motherfucker is
He's
not real.
and that's you, Jacob.
No, but I still felt like my brain was like not there because I was not on a lot of sleep, and we started drinking too right at like 7 in the morning.
Yeah,
when we got there.
anyone who was participating in the buddy games, they gave us free drink
Oh,
coupons.
So
lovely.
I was starting
That's
to drink,
awesome.
so I was buzzing.
So we had a few
Those are
drinks
drunk.
there, but of course we dominated the physical challenges and we just moved right on to the final round. Of course, just like my prediction was last week, we had the fucking puzzle show up, and that's where it all went to hell.
I said that. I said, like, when they gave us the rundown in the email of the physical challenges, I'm like, that's not necessarily what worries me. It depends on what it is. But I knew when they said a puzzle or mental game, like, I'm fucked. Like,
So, when you guys got eliminated, did they murder you like they do in Squid Games? Because I know we discussed that last week as well. I guess you're here, so probably not.
No, we were kind of thinking, like, what if you secretly just when you get eliminated, they take you to like the back
shoot
room,
you right in the
or
head.
who knows
They
if
take
they
you to like
killed
a
us
tunnel in U.S. Bank and
and-
run you over with like the injury cart.
and they clone us, so
Yeah.
no one asked questions. So maybe we're just clones.
Told you he's not
No,
real.
he's real.
Told you
That
Jake's not real.
motherfucker-
My
I'm
hand,
not
my
real.
hand,
That
my hand,
motherfucker's
my
not
hand,
real.
my hand didn't go through Zane.
Yeah, so there was a lot of confusion though on that puzzle. Like, I remember, like, this goes here, and like, but we didn't know what went on the top and whatnot. And the
It was a
team,
shit show.
There was a whole 7 brain cells in
Well,
that.
no, so what happened was, so you have to compete against another team for the puzzle. They won, obviously, right? There was only one guy on this other team, and he just came right up to us afterwards. He's like, to be honest, I just let the girls take care of it. I stood right out of the way, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's our issue. We didn't have any women to help us with our brains.
You know what you guys should have done?
because they were probably sober. We were not.
If it was a head-to-head intelligence challenge and you lost it, you should have just resorted to looking at them and calling them nerds.
Yeah, but they're too nice, so we couldn't do that. We couldn't.
Yeah,
chirp
they were
a
all
lot of
giving you
people.
high fives.
Ah.
Great
The
job.
Sportsmanship was fantastic. We had to put on a good show.
Fair enough.
For the crowd, there was a decent amount of people watching too. It was kind of nuts.
I remember after Josh went up to talk to me about our merch, like the team behind us, they were filled with girls, right? They're like, "Oh my God, what did he say to you? He's so hot!" Like that's.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, "Okay."
There were some people that definitely showed up just because they knew Josh Duhamel was going to be there. There was a couple women wearing Josh Duhamel T-shirts.
They're like top 3 hottest guy in Hollywood, and they were so excited.
It's
He's
it's
not number
insane.
3 or 2.
Nope, not according to them.
He's
He
the
wasn't.
top 3. But no, that was pretty incredible. But then I think it was. I mean, we kind of saw what the last challenge though was. It was like actual like throwing football and catching and running to the end zone,
Which
like,
we would have dominated.
Oh, we would have killed it. But we're like, yeah, let's just tailgate, get into the game, whatever. And but it was a good time. The buddy games was a very interesting experience.
And because we finished in the top, 7 teams or whatever, we got the cabin suite tickets. It was awesome. We got to watch the entire game in a cabin suite with free booze, which ended up being very nice because we needed booze to get through that game. But it was just. Oh, and Josh watched the game with us up there for the first half. It was awesome.
he was there for
so-
the first half.
You guys had to place in order to get into the game?
Yeah, the top 7 teams got cabin
Competition
tickets.
based.
Yep.
So this was a lot of pressure.
It was, but we're built for it.
I don't know. We could get through the first 2 rounds. I had a feel. I was confident that we could get for the.
I'm
first
not gonna
physical
lie though,
challenges.
when we went through that the bike relay race, the first thing we said is I'm glad that Cam isn't on our team because all of the really tall people could not. It was a tiny little bike. None of them could get going, so they were just like stuck. Some few guys had to stand up, but you weren't allowed to let the seat leave your ass. That was the one rule. So they'd have to stand up holding the seat against their ass, and they sprinted to the course because they couldn't even get the bike to move.
I really thought that was going to be a fat joke.
No, what? You're not fat, Cameron.
We had we had Randall McDaniel and Robert Griffin or something.
Yep, I think Randall
on the Vikings.
McDaniel was on our team. He helped push my chair. That was very nice of him.
Yeah.
Stand-up guy.
Yeah, he was a very cool dude. Very
Yes.
nice. But yeah, the buddy games was fun. It was just very early for the noon game, but it was still fantastic.
I was going to say, we won't go too deep into analysis of the game itself. You can listen to State of Skull or Third and Forever podcasts in our network to listen to that. But I just saw the highlights today. I was at the Colts game in Indianapolis. I was there for a wedding. But what are your guys' biggest takeaways from that game?
Jake, I'll let you.
Well,
I'll let
first
you-
and
Other than
foremost-
now, we're in another position where the Kirk argument has just started
well,
back off. After
people need to shut the fuck up.
after a great summer of
Goodness
Netflix
gracious.
and respect, and Kirk Cousins looking great.
He had
now.
he had a great game. He had a couple plays where you questioned it a little bit, but like the fumble, not his fault.
Both fumbles.
The both fumbles. Like people are like secure the football. Well, you have 5 fucking 300-pound dudes like literally jumping on top of you in a matter of seconds.
Well, the first one, the offensive line missed the block. You got fucking killed.
Well,
Fumble. The
wasn't there-
second one was Ed Ingram, dude, just ripping it out of Kirk's hand.
Ed Ingram did not have a good game.
No.
My biggest takeaway was the whole game was just stupid mistakes. We actually people don't want to agree because they don't know how to comprehend football.
I know.
We actually Veach, yeah. We actually played good. Granted, we only put 20.
It was just those turnovers.
Yeah, we only put 20 points up against the Bucks. We had stupid turnovers. Jay Ward lined up offsides on the field goal.
Yeah.
Went 3 points
and
to
that went
7.
for a touchdown.
That went for a touchdown.
That killed the game. That played.
And then we could have prevented both touchdowns because the Mike Evans touchdown was just a massive coverage breakdown.
Yeah.
Like our defense was actually good.
By hindsight, it's easier to say this, but when it's 4th down and 6 at the end of the game, you got to go for it. When the Bucks got it back, they just ran the clock right out. And I know it's really easy to say it in hindsight, but they had to go for it there.
The problem,
yeah.
I saw like the replay and the breakdown of that play. There is no way Baker should have got that first. Ivan Pace was literally
he needs
right
to
there.
close the distance.
And I get it. He's a rookie. He's undrafted. The fact that he started is insane.
And for the most part, he had a good game.
And he was great. But right there, sprint your ass off and murder Baker Mayfield.
Are you saying on the Godwin play to keep it alive for the Bucks?
No, on the
Very last scramble
very
by
last play
Baker.
that iced the game.
Oh
before
yeah,
the
kneel downs.
When
Ivan was right there.
Like I said, I watched the highlights. I did see that, and I'm like, how the hell did he get
But-
that first down?
Yeah.
The idea that people are saying the defense looked awful, I think, is a
didn't.
horrible take because
looked-
they looked
Ed
way.
Donatell's defense would have let that
Yeah.
team score 42
I
points.
know.
for
So
that offense.
There was a lot. We gave them the ball too much in good position too. So and then that jump off sides on the field goal attempt, gives them 4 extra points. I think it's week 1 woes with the new, Brian Flores and some new personnel and some new players that I think are going to figure it out because they didn't really start in the preseason either. Granted, they still should have beat the Bucks. I mean, come on. But and then that interception to KJ, like I know that was a very tight throw, but Kirk he throws those all the time and makes those. It was in KJ's hand. It was in his arm.
Yeah,
It was in tight coverage.
It was, so there's 2 ways you can look at it. Like it was a little bit behind him, and it was into a tight window, which you got to be perfect in a tight window. However, it was in KJ's hands, and he got it ripped out.
Yeah, it was just a good defensive play in the end. Yeah, I don't know. I don't blame Kirk for that because he just throw those a lot right at the goal line. Catches it, falls into the end zone.
Yeah.
There was actually a lot of reasons to be excited. A lot of I feel like a lot of the cause of people being so down is because we play the fucking Eagles and we might go 0-2.
Yeah, that's what they're worried about.
Especially our secondary. Like Caleb looked so much better than last year.
Blackman,
Makai Blackman,
yeah, so good.
broke up a pass on Mike Evans on a 1-on-1.
Yep.
Dantzler gets fucked on that play.
Yeah,
Is he even in the league anymore?
I don't even know.
he's wide open last year.
So my question, I mean, am I crazy, guys? For kind of being a little bit confident going into this Thursday night game against the Eagles, I honestly think that the Vikings have a fire lit under their ass after that first game.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's going to go completely different than it did last year.
They don't cause. I'm not saying you're not going to be perfect every game. You can still win games with a turnover, but if they don't have any stupid turnovers like they did on Sunday, they're going to compete to win the
It's
game.
going to be closer than people think. And Mac Jones just moved the ball with ease. Granted, the Patriots still lost, but he just moved the ball with ease on that.
They
Eagles
hung in
defense.
there.
Yeah, 25
against
to
the
20, I think the Eagles beat
It all
the
comes down
Patriots.
to the O-line.
So you guys,
The O-line too. They did not look good.
they look
for most of the
terrible,
game.
and we'll get into that here shortly. So you guys talked about overreacting, right? You don't want to overreact. It's week 1. There's week 1 woes. They don't play the starters. So I'm going to read you what some Vikings fans said in a particular situation. The next day was 9/11. Like, being serious for a second, our hearts go out to all the families affected by that. One of our nation's biggest tragedies. But the Vikings posted a picture of purple and yellow Twin Towers, saying we'll never forget the lives lost in 9/11. Here are some comments that are under that post.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Casually stating what Ed Donatell did. Yesterday was my 9/11.
Oh, God.
Yesterday was worse. Seems like y'all forgot to fix that, LOL, to add any pieces to the defense that actually makes a difference. So this person's going after the social media admin on a 9/11 post about what Kwesi is not doing. What about the third building is another comment. I think that's because
That's a
the
conspiracy.
graphical. Yeah. I'll also never forget losing to Baker week 1, and then you need to add your offensive line and Daddy Kirk some protection. So this is Vikings fans for you. Like, I mean, I would imagine this is every NFL team that lost, especially week 1, posting this.
Especially
but
the Vikings.
I
fans,
can't believe
though.
I'll also never forget Baker Mayfield.
Bro, it's week 1.
I expected a few of those, but all of those
That's so
comments I
bad.
read off were maybe in the first half hour. So there's probably a lot more there now. So you guys want to talk about overreacting? The Vikings make a 9/11 never forget post, and that's what Vikings fans say.
That's insanity.
Over
Yeah.
2,500 people
How
died,
fucked up is this
innocent
fan base?
lives, and people are sitting here worried about a week 1 loss to
It
Baker Mayfield
is
on a post like
insane.
that. Are you kidding me?
It is insane.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
Well, mine
Whoa,
just
shit! Yeah, fuck you,
Jay.
Cam. You go.
like about overreacting. I'm not gonna say I told you so yet, but Jack will love this. Which rookie quarterback looked the best in week 1?
I would say Anthony Richardson.
By a
Looked
mile.
incredible. I was
I'm
there.
not gonna say I told you so yet, but he is fucking real.
Would you say though? Does he have the best situation?
Honestly,
Between C.J. Stroud
Yes.
and Bryce
Yeah, I
Young.
think so too.
Yeah.
but at the same time, like last year, that Colts team probably gets murdered by the Jags.
Yeah.
And they almost won.
Mm-hmm. Defense looked a lot better with Leonard back. I was at the Colts game.
He's arrived.
One of my best friends from college got married in Indianapolis, so I was there for the game. And I won't get too into that game because I know I'm fans of both teams, and you don't care about that. I'm a fan of that team. But what I will add is they lost in horrific fashion as well. And I was in a really sour mood on Sunday, and I actually ran into Kenny Albert at the airport, and I had no desire to talk to him because I was like, you remind me of what just happened. Also back in Minnesota, both of my teams lost to teams from Florida. Fuck you, Florida. Go back to doing bath salts. Stay out of the Midwest. You're kicking both of our teams' asses.
But Jack, you're not alone this year. My eyes will be glued to every Colts game. I love
mean,
that
he
guy.
was watching him in person too. The way it's so fun between one of my favorite NFL teams and my favorite college team. It's fun to see a quarterback who can run. It's fun to have that option there. You know, Kirk is obviously not a very dynamic quarterback in terms of running. He can run. I did see him run a little bit on Sunday in the red zone, which is fun, or at least in the highlight.
He had one particular play where I'm like, if he's just a little faster, he scores because it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. He had a slot, but they closed down
Yeah.
on it, but he still got like 5 or 6 yards.
Obviously, Tanner wasn't the biggest runner, so we're not used to seeing running QBs, at least in my sphere of fanhood. And it was actually fun to watch Richardson, Callie McManus run. It's fun to watch quarterbacks run.
I am so excited to be right on that take. It's gonna
Yeah,
be the
you were a
best.
big Richardson
Well,
fan.
what
from day
was
one,
the
yeah.
specific take that he's going?
That he was the best quarterback in the draft class, and everyone
Okay.
looked at me like I was insane.
I-
I'm like, he is going to be.
To my credit, I don't know enough about the
Unbelievable.
draft class.
Yeah, me
to have
neither.
disagreed with you.
I know, but like, there's a lot of people that like nobody really agreed with me.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he was just
he
one of those
was
guys
even-
where everyone was like, well, if you develop him properly, he has the tools to be by far the best. However, there's the most question marks about
no
him.
one
But you,
thought he
you
would
were
do
just
it. I
all
was
in
like,
from day one.
I was like, I thought he would have the best rookie season, and
Yeah.
no one said that.
He only started like 14 games in
11
college.
games
11,
or something
yeah,
like that. Yeah, it's
yeah.
good.
It's-
Let's tread off.
How
his
is
tire.
Bryce Young and CJ? I didn't even watch their games.
Not good.
Yeah.
No, I saw Adam Thielen for Bryce Young. He had 2 catches for like 12 yards.
Okay, congratulations.
I mean,
Good for him. No.
That was not an upgrade for him. I get it. I do get it why he left because the money wasn't there. But holy shit, man, he's gonna be miserable.
I mean,
there.
Adam Thielen, what is he, 33, and he got like 45 million or
Yeah.
28 million?
He's securing his retirement.
No
at this
wide
point.
receiver
I
at
can't
that
blame
age
him.
gets that money.
I was surprised he even signed a 2-year deal, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a one
And they
Yeah.
have Frank Reich at the helm there, who, like, I swear to God, just crumbled at the end of last year with the play calling. Like, it was worse than bad. So
Well, I guarantee you when he got that offer from Carolina, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a 3-year, $25 million deal.
He's like, someone's offering me to be a head coach somewhere again. Let's go.
sure, we'll just go until I get fired from there too.
Yeah, exactly.
Legend,
No, I never
legend
know.
QB.
Sorry, I meant the Thielen thing. Because, like,
Oh.
He signed a 3-year deal?
3-year, 25 mil.
What?
And you're a early 30s wide receiver.
It's
you
a
don't
pension-
get
it's a
that
pension
contract.
fund.
You
It's
don't.
beautiful.
So the fact that he got,
They were desperate
He can
for
play his-
weapons for the rookie, yeah.
He can play his 3 years there, and then he can sign like a 1-day contract with the Vikes and ride off into the sunset.
what's gonna happen.
And then that's when he'll come on It's a Bit.
True.
Yeah, it'll be a few years.
When he's washed up and not that cool anymore. That's
Yeah.
when he'll come on.
When the Vikings win a Super Bowl.
Last thing to talk about that I missed over the weekend as well was Gopher football beat Eastern Michigan 25-6.
Which we have, yeah. go
fucking
ahead.
trash streaming it at a wedding. You guys talk about that game. I missed that game as well.
It was kind of boring because they went back to their old offense. It felt like, right? It was a lot of running the rock.
Run.
I was fine with it. because that's what PJ does.
No, that's
Yeah.
what he does. But it's like the Vikings. People don't understand PJ Fleck. They don't understand Gopher football the last 5-6 years. This is what he does in the non-conference to these teams.
Yeah.
He plays not to lose. And I had multiple conversations with people because like I was obviously out after wearing Gopher stuff. Oh yeah, that was a horrible game. I'm like, what are you? They won 25-6.
They won by 20 points. They
were more than capable. Yeah, they had a couple plays where they should have like punched it in, but it was like a run up the middle at the 2. They're PJ always closes the playbook. Plays very conservative. He did that even against Nebraska. He does this notoriously at the beginning of the year, so he hides plays and doesn't want to show teams later in the year, which can be a little frustrating. Sometimes you want to see them run up the score, but people legitimately think no, their team and talent sucks. No, they don't fucking suck.
Do you really think he's going to unveil the whole playbook? He's going to do that against Wisconsin or Iowa, not the Eastern Michigan Eagles.
Well,
Exactly.
and especially as a guy who's coached Chris Ottman-Bell the last few years and sees how easily players can get injured, there's no reason to risk an injury when you're playing.
He doesn't want to do
Eastern
that.
Michigan.
Speaking of that name, didn't see him anywhere.
No, and he was announced. I don't think they're playing him.
I think he has since
because they're
passed.
waiting
Is he
for him.
still-
No, he was announced on the starting lineup. I saw him a couple times out against Nebraska, but I think they're almost holding him for a bigger game or like for the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Honestly, 'cause
That's the only thing that makes sense at this point.
But it's just so annoying that people are just constantly, they suck. They only beat them by 19. I'm like, you didn't watch the game.
Dude,
You
they
don't
were-
understand football.
They were
Shut the fuck
20-point
up.
favorites, right?
I
Like,
know.
They almost covered. They got 19 more points in the game. Like,
They expect us to be Alabama and win by 50 points. It's like we don't have Nick Saban. We have PJ Fleck. He's going to play very conservative. That's
in
just how it is.
2019, when we won the Outback Bowl, we
Yes.
almost lost to South Dakota State, and then we almost lost to Georgia Southern, and Jerick McKinnon was not on that Georgia Southern team.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a good team.
And the thing is, I brought that up to somebody that I was having an argument with, and they're like, "Oh, you're bringing up a year 4 years ago." I'm like, "Dude, that's just a very like prominent example. This happens every year. That's just a year where it was very prominent. Where I'm just saying, hey, we started 9-0 and beat Penn State, a top 5 team, at home when we literally had to beat South Dakota State in the last drive on 4th down. Had to go for it. I still remember that, and almost lost to fucking Georgia Southern, who I think went 2-10 that year.
yeah.
And it was the beginning of the year. Everybody was like, "Oh, we're gonna suck." This blah blah blah. But last year we started off kind of questionable, and then we did okay. Like people need to calm the fuck down. This is how he coaches.
Yeah.
As frustrating as it can be, you want to run up the score. You want to see our team kick some ass. But
We had
just how it
Tommy
is.
Olson on, before the season, and he really hyped us up, thinking it was going to be like a passing offense. So that's what I was just really expecting. But just like you
He's
said,
not passing a lot.
they got off to an early lead. They're not going to start bombing the ball down the field at that point. They're going to hand off, just like Cam said. They're not going to show everyone their playbook at that point. It's only Eastern
Ethan
Michigan.
can pass too, and they did launch the ball a couple times on Saturday and against Nebraska, but not nearly to the point where I know he's capable of.
Yeah.
you know?
Well, speaking of calming the fuck down as well, the Gopher social media admin for the football team needs to calm the fuck down and unblock our friend Allie Ray.
yeah,
So-
I don't.
Allie Ray, who's an OnlyFans star, friend of the brand.
Been on the show.
Huge Gopher fan, by the way. She'll buy like 10 to 15 tickets just for her friends and family so that they can fill up the stands with Gopher fans.
Yeah,
She got blocked by the same person, by the way, who told us to delete our account one time.
Yes, people who
Fucking nerd.
Again, I would say that we do more to advertise the Gopher football team than the fucking Gopher football team does. I mean, our posts on Instagram will get 45K plus likes around the Gophers. They're not doing that shit yet. They call us out. I get mad when I hear about the
It
Gopher
doesn't-
social media ad.
Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense. You're not marketing right. You're not working with the influencers and everything.
She'll wear like a crop top with the Gopher logo.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's only one photo where she has the Gopher M over her nipples.
Nipple
but
covers, yeah.
It's
It's
not
like-
it's not like she's just nude, tagging the Gophers in it like an OnlyFans bot that's on
Yeah.
Twitter. Like it is kind of weird that they would do that. Like maybe they don't quite support her profession, and that is what it is. But the fact that they block her is it's so weird.
I can understand if it's maybe like a Wisconsin girl, and at the same time she was chirping the main account. Whatever, you don't want to see it. But I saw Sal Spice today. Shout out to her. She literally tweeted at the Gopher football social admin. She was like,
This
"Hey,
is fucked up.
I have an OnlyFans as well. Does that mean you're going to block me? Or you're going to block
No.
everyone with an OnlyFans account?
Yeah.
Because you're going to have a lot of people to block."
That just doesn't make sense to block. We're not saying you have to repost or retweet anything from her.
You're
what's the
blocking the
point?
Gopher content from her.
Yeah.
You're blocking a humongous Gopher fan.
I know.
Who
That doesn't make any
lives in
sense.
Florida and travels around the country to watch not only one of your teams but two of your teams. She goes to a ton of Gopher hockey games.
I know.
It's fucking bananas.
You're not she's doing nothing negative to the Gopher football brand or that page.
Yeah.
In fact, the
Twitter.
opposite. She's only helping it out by flying
I
from
know.
Florida, showing up and buying, just like Jack said, like 20 tickets a game for
Building
And
engagement
she has
for
a
the-
massive following, and she's for free, including Gopher logos in her following.
I don't know. She's
Exactly.
promoting the Gopher football program
Makes
and the
no
Gophers in
sense.
general. So
free our girl,
there's
Allie
just no
Ray.
reason to block.
If you know the person who runs that account, or you are that person, just unblock her. Yeah,
It-
we're
it
not saying
doesn't
you got to
make any
follow her.
sense.
We're not saying you got to retweet her. Just unblock her.
Yeah,
It's a weird
I'm
move.
sure it's not a
Or even
university
if,
policy.
If maybe it's a female who's running that account, right, and she doesn't want to see a half-naked woman, sure, you can mute the account, and her post will never show up on your feed.
Yeah.
I think a block is just a little too far. It'd be different if she was like spam comment or spam comment or spam comment, like fuck Gopher football, fuck the admin, fuck blah, 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 F this, F that. But she's harmless. She's on your side.
I'm on your side.
Unblock her.
You know, it really seems that way, doesn't it?
Whoa.
That was
Jake,
that
that was
use that. That's a good prop.
I want you to apologize for that.
No.
He just threw a Sharpie at me.
No, I didn't try to.
It's more
throw,
fucked
that was
up
from
than
the movie.
You know what?
Throws the
You know what I'm
pencil.
gonna do? I'm
really
gonna.
seems that way,
Here's what
doesn't
I'm gonna do for Allie Ray. I'm gonna block on my personal account the Gopher Men's Football social media account until the game on Saturday in solidarity.
In solidarity.
You should do it until further notice. Until
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
They
No,
unblock her.
no more of seeing Boss Man content on your feed until you unblock her. It's a contingent deal.
You're going full Tim Brewster style.
But then on the
right now. That's
on
gross.
Saturday though, I'm gonna want to see the content.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
sure.
Probably unblock
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Just for
But
5
4 days of solidarity is not bad. 3 days: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
4, 3.5. It's better
Cool.
than 0.
Mm-hmm.
But
We're doing
just
something.
unblock her, please.
Doing our
Just
due
do it.
due diligence.
She's a nice lady.
Yeah.
We ran into her at the tailgate. She bought 10 to 15 tickets for the opening day game, which we knew was overrated, or not overrated. Sold out.
Yeah.
And
Very highly priced.
yep. I was gonna say we could talk about the Twins. I know we got a lengthy interview with Kevin that'll probably ensue, but the Twins are still kicking it. What did you just? Oh, you're filling in Cam's bet.
He just wrote the uncle bit, so I just tried.
Cam, anything on the Twins? You've been keeping up. I know they're losing 2-1 to the Rays right now, but they're winning 3-2 now,
Yeah.
bottom of 8.
Look at that.
Twins are back.
Twins are back, confirmed.
We are all aboard the bandwagon.
What's the magic number? Do you know?
It is 13,
Okay.
I believe. So we're getting there. We're getting to the nitty gritty. We're not watching Nick Gordon in September. It's fantastic.
That's good.
Yeah, we are full force until we get disappointed again.
We
It's
were gonna
funny
be
that we're
October
actually,
baseball guys.
Yeah, it's funny that we're looking forward to Twins postseason baseball. It's weird.
I'm still knocking on wood as you say that, man.
You're right. It's still wait.
The
it's
math
still, too
still
early.
supports
yes.
a possibility.
Yes, you're right.
Still a margin there. All right, before we get into Falness, let's go over our bits of the week. I'm just going to kick it off because mine is so relevant to some of the stuff we just talked about. I have the open bar bit. You guys had an open bar this weekend. I had an open bar at a wedding in Indianapolis. The open bar bit is pretty simple. It's just I like having this marker in my hand now. I feel like
you're a coach, dude.
yeah, like I'm pointing at shit. When you're at a wedding or an event, such as we were this weekend, and it's open bar, it just suddenly turns into a contest of how much you can drink. So
Yes,
and the food's good,
and again, you get that opportunity so little. Whenever it does pop up to go to an open bar, like you got to take advantage of it.
yeah, I love
gotta
the
get
open bar
hammered.
bit.
You got it. You got it.
I mean, it sometimes is draws. There's a line you might need to I don't know, question about crossing if it's like on a weeknight or something like that. And you have to work the next day and you didn't know there's an open bar. That's maybe unexplored waters. But on a weekend and especially a wedding or like us, even on a Sunday, you're like, yeah, we're going after it.
Yeah.
We're getting after it.
Let's go to you, Cam. What's your bit this week?
So I have two. My first one is the corporate fridge bit. This was the most frustrating thing in the world. So you guys know, you went into the office. There's a fridge. It's a corporate fridge. It's fucking disgusting. For one, it's just a cesspool. For two, shit gets stolen all the time. I
Yeah.
had a Monster in there one day last
Did you
week.
put your name on it?
No, but no one does.
Oh, it's a war zone.
And there's a sign on the thing that says if you didn't eat it or if you didn't bring it, don't eat it or drink it or whatever. Either way, I thought it was fine. I came back after lunch when I wanted to take a nap, but I needed a Monster to stay awake. Missing. It pissed me off so much. I don't know. The corporate fridge bit sucks.
It does. That is a massive problem across America that we don't talk about enough. Is just people stealing other people's food when everyone in the building makes at least $60,000 a year.
You don't need to do that. Are you that broke?
Corporate fridge rights.
Yeah.
Unless
I
it's just
stand for corporate fridge freedom.
Time to start the conversation.
Unless there's people that know about the corporate fridge that, maybe homeless or something, and they know these corporations. They have a strategy. Let's go into the corporate fridge, dress like kind of like get some nice decent clothes, look like that you work there maybe a little bit, and go up there and steal some food.
Yeah.
Cam, you do work at a car dealership, though. I'm curious if where your break room is located, because what if it's customers wandering around looking for, or is that a
Totally far away.
Okay,
Oh.
so because
Separate area.
I have gotten oil changes at places where like the workers' break room is like kind of nearby.
Yeah, like in the waiting
And I
room
think if
area.
you get like a really old guy who just doesn't give a fuck but is also confused, he might stumble in there, open up the fridge, and just think that that's like a complimentary monster.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it wasn't.
Look, a monster.
My honorable mention bit is the uncle bit. My sister gave birth on Sunday, so I am officially an uncle.
Congrats, Cam.
You are the
It's a
uncle.
round of applause.
Uncle Cam. It's got a nice ring to it.
Uncle
It
Cam
does.
touched me.
Uncle Bob touched me is an actual band name.
I know it is. Yes, it's one of the more unfortunate band names
Cam,
in the history of the
I
bands.
have a follow-up question for you. What is your favorite, or what is going to be your favorite thing about being an uncle? Like, what are you looking forward to the most about being an uncle? Like, what kind of uncle are you going to be?
The drunk uncle.
The drunkle.
I won't be the creepy uncle. I won't be the drunk uncle. I'll be the one that spoils the hell out of her.
Okay.
And then gets her on a sugar high and then brings her back to her mom.
Okay, there you go.
I love how he asked you what uncle you're gonna be, and then you brought up the ones that you weren't gonna.
Because I know that like one of you three smartasses would have been like, Cam's the creepy uncle.
Well, Zane already made a pedophile joke.
I did.
Instantly.
Oh,
It's because I look at you as my long lost uncle Cam.
Oh, Dad.
and I want you to touch me, Cam.
You do have a mullet though, and you do like derby racing, and you just hammer bush lights.
Yeah, I'm
so-
gonna be the cool one.
You're like our redneck younger uncle.
yeah.
You're gonna bring your niece to the
strip
derby
club.
meetings.
You're gonna bring her.
Yes.
You're gonna bring her to her first strip club.
Yep.
Dude, I have a legitimate uncle who's 3 months older than me.
Oh,
That's it.
that does shake out that way
What?
sometimes.
So when my dad had me, it was like 3 months after my grandpa had his last kid.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so he's like, whenever I go to things, I'm like, hey, Uncle Tyler, and he's my age.
Yeah.
More like cousin Tyler.
Yeah, it
I've-
feels like it.
I've
yeah.
heard of like, I don't know any people like this, but I've heard of like people having uncles or aunts that are younger than them.
That is
Yeah.
possible as
Possible,
well.
yeah.
It's so weird.
That's
Yeah, my dad's uncle is only like 4 years older than him.
Yeah.
So growing up, I'm like, oh, is that like when I was really young, is that your brother? No, it's my uncle. I'm like, what?
that is super weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, what's your bit?
Mine is the audible bit.
This is hilarious.
So this I think is should be relatable to a lot of people. But we showed up to the Gopher football tailgate, and we all decided before we start going and drinking in the lot, we're like, let's hit up the porta potties. Let's see what we got to do. At first,
Whoa,
see what we
wait,
gotta
what do you
do.
mean? Like, let's go.
We all had to go to the bathroom.
This is
I think we
the best.
all
blow
needed
our
to
brains
piss.
out.
I
Even
forgot
at
about
first, I'm like, I don't know if I got to piss. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in and piss. And you guys were all waiting for me. And, of course, I'm in there a little longer than what would be for a piss. And you guys are like, what the fuck is going on in there? I'm like, I pulled an audible. And ended up having to take a number 2, take a dump. And, I was in there taking a piss. And I'm like, you know what? I got to take a number 2 here. I didn't puke, though, so no trifecta.
Dude, the funniest part about that, too, was there's people in the porta potty to the right and left of him. So we're talking to him. These other people can hear him. And they're just hearing Jake, yeah, I had to pull an audible. I'm shitting now. Like, that's
Yeah,
just so funny.
I had to pull an audible, and then again, I'm like, I have to go take a piss, and I was gone a little longer. And you're like, what happened? I had to pull an audible
Yeah,
again.
your system was fucked up
Yeah,
that day, dude.
a couple times, fortunately. it
There's
didn't
a,
continue.
And then he went into the next porta potty and had to use that hand sanitizer. Like, did you run out of toilet paper?
Yeah, there was no hand sanitizer. Like in the first one, I'm like, I'm not walking out of here and going to a tailgate without
After
putting
what
some
you
sort of
just did,
sanitizer.
yeah.
Yes, after what? Yeah.
So there's
a sin
there's
right
like a famous blogger who I think blogged for Vice back in the day. Maybe now he's at Deadspin, but he's pretty famous for having like a mailbag Q&A type thing. And I think he said like, send me your worst like bathroom stories. And this one guy worked at an office where him and another guy were on the same BM schedule. And every time he would be in the stall, this guy would walk in next to him, and he said he would pull up the toilet seat, drop his pants, and start pissing. And then, like, right when it was done, he would flip and just full-blown start shitting. So, like, I don't know if he wasn't taught that he could do both at the same
Yeah.
time or what, but
Or constantly came in, I only got a piss.
Kill
Now
two birds with one
Bro.
stone.
that's kind of what I thought of when I heard that.
So he said so first thing you do, he'd piss, but it wouldn't be like he'd pull his pants all the way down to piss.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is clearly someone who might not be
all there.
correct.
Upstairs.
And then he said, yeah, he would just simply pull in 180 and just start shitting. So it's It's a mystery out there, people.
Dude, the fact that he had the balls to do that in front of people too.
I know.
You're not at home.
Well, so if the same guy was in the stall next to him every day, then he was like, well, this guy already knows my secret, so now it is what it is. It's out. So
live your best life.
But then that's got to be weird because you're walking around the office and you see that pair of shoes and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you're the guy. And it's like, okay, now you know what my face looks like. I have to use a different bathroom.
That would just be very awkward. I would shift bathrooms. I would pull an audible of bathrooms.
Go to the fourth floor
Yeah,
instead of the third.
Exactly. There's always like some hidden gem bathroom in those corporate office buildings too.
Yep.
Got to find the right one.
All right, Wags, take us home.
I got the argument theatrics bit. This is just because I love the way our good friend Zooch argues. He was screaming at us after the Vikings game, essentially just blaming the whole entire thing on Kirk Cousins. And then someone make a point like, someone make a perfectly reasonable point like, yeah, but Kirk's not expecting his own offensive lineman right at that second to fucking shove the ball out of his hands.
Correct.
And then so what Zooch will do in these situations when someone's arguing against him is he'll start laughing and walk away from you and just shake his head. I can't believe what the fuck I'm here.
And then you'll kind of pace back.
Yeah, he'll face back and let's look. He'll shake his head more, and just the way that he argues, I love it so much because like you just say rational things to him, and he just like looks at you like you're the craziest person.
Because he doesn't have a response.
It's almost like nope.
Well,
no.
It's because he was pretty trash too.
We all were open bar,
and so we were like, oh yeah,
we were screaming at each other in the tailgate lot. That's how drunk we were.
That was getting insane. But
I'm glad I wasn't there for that.
Yes.
like Zooch, when he's like more sober, he's a little bit more cordial and quite frankly, I don't even think he would have actually had that exact take if he was sober.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
He's always super defensive on Kirk Cousins. But yeah, I remember he was just laughing. You could see the look in his eyes. He is one of those guys where you can tell he's.
You would
plastered.
like look around like, am I the only sane one? Like just the stuff that you would do.
No,
you're not at all because he ended up getting.
Because we had other people show up to him and be like, "Hey, buddy, it's not Kirk's fault," and then he would just do the same laughing. But
what are you talking about?
I actually I love it so much because it's so entertaining to watch. And
sometimes when two drunk sports fans are arguing about something so minuscule, like you just kind of have to step back and drink your beer and like just sit down and watch.
Yeah,
it's just that in itself is the entertainment, not even the game.
I can't believe what you're saying right now, dude. Like he just gets so. It's great.
Super fun dude to be around.
I know. But we ended up staying out there a little later and we're walking in Minneapolis and a couple of these Buccaneers fans just started talking shit to us. So they were kind of being stupid and whatever. But then all of a sudden this guy in a JJ jersey just comes up and just randomly pushes Zooch for no reason. And we're just walking, and then Zooch, of course, just that sets him off. Like, get the fuck off, man! I'm literally holding this guy back from Zooch because this guy kept like walking. I'm like, bro, just step away. He's fucked up. You're fucked up. Let's just go our separate ways here. And then he got around me a couple times. Went up to Zooch, slapped him, just slapped him. It was so weird, actually. And then Zooch. Like he didn't even fall. Like he didn't slap him. Our Zooch falls a couple times.
His knees are all scraped up.
Yeah, part of that is because he tripped over the cooler in the tailgate after too. He
might need to be put on timeout from tailgates.
I didn't know he fell, dude. I didn't know he got dropped.
Yeah, he fell off a stupid slap, but he was so fucked up. And then Zooch tried walking over. What are you gonna do, bro? What are you gonna do? And I'm holding this fucking guy who I think is on just some of the booger sugar as well. And then he starts talking shit a little bit to me, like, dude, get your fucking hands. I'm like, dude, just let's stop. And then eventually I had to turn around and like grab him by his fucking hand like I'm dragging like a toddler. I'm like, let's fucking go, dude. And then this guy's still yelling shit, almost
this
trying to
guy
run
came up unprompted too.
Yeah, because I think he saw like us kind of yelling back at these Tampa Bay fans, and then we started walking, and all of a sudden I just see him come up and just push Zooch for no reason. Didn't say anything to him. I don't even know where this guy came from, actually. It was so bizarre, and this one lady got out of her car freaking out and started filming us. It was so strange, dude. Like she thought this was gonna be on a court case. I'm like,
no,
this is fine.
No, she has had a TikTok account for a long time and thought this was finally the moment that she filmed a public viral fight.
I'm wondering if this is posted somewhere, but I would love to see the
I
footage.
would love to see it too.
It was
Yes.
it was pretty interesting.
Good.
Yeah, it was so weird. And then
I'm so mad I missed
and
that.
we were walking down the street, and Zooch is still yelling back at this guy. You can hear this guy, "Fuck you, pussy!" And then Zooch is like, "Oh yeah, why don't you come over here in trouble?" I'm like, dude, what the fuck are we doing? What are you doing? Jeez, but it was just so weird. This is peak Minneapolis,
and
though.
this is peak Vikings fan base after they lose. It's like, I'm gonna go push a random fan on my team.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what was going on. This guy was wearing a Justin Jefferson jersey, goes up to Zooch, pushes him, and Zooch is just. on a new one. I mean,
Fucking irate.
he was just. I mean, this guy was stumbling, and then he proceeds to call his girlfriend. We just got fucking jumped, which sounds like we got robbed.
Yeah, he walked in the house that night because I had just gotten off a fucking flight, and he's ringing the doorbell profusely, and then he sticks his face up on the glass like he's a fish, and like his face is all squished up against the glass, and I let him in. He's like, bro, I just got fucking jumped, and his knees are all bloody. So naturally, I'm like, "Oh, dude, you okay? Like, you still got your wallet?"
And then I walk in, I'm like,
Jake
"We didn't
walks
get
in, he's like,
fucking
"We did
jumped."
not get jumped."
No.
So we had to walk him through the difference between getting jumped and just getting slapped by a man on
I
cocaine.
can't believe he fell, dude.
And then he was doing the theatric argument bit for like 20 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Oh, so he was
I can't
arguing
do
when
it.
he got back, too?
Yeah.
I love the way you
Well,
argue
yeah, you
much.
guys were arguing. Him and Jake were arguing about the validity of the slap contest that happened on the sidewalk.
No, then I remember he was saying on Sunday, and Jake didn't do shit.
Oh, yeah, he was pissed
I'm
at
like,
you for not-
dude, I was trying to hold them off of you, literally, because if I let him go, they would have this guy would have slapped probably Zooch into oblivion. Zooch maybe would have started punching back. I don't know. I held this guy back for quite a long time. and
Like
then all
what
of
the
a sudden
refs say, you sometimes just have to let him play.
Yeah, dude. I pulled this guy off of him a couple times, but he was just slapping. It was so weird.
That's why I would have seen an all-time. If you want to be our all-time cameraman and just follow us around,
Dude,
let us
that was-
fucking know. If we could, that's what we need a cameraman
That
for.
is, yeah, we needed that.
I would pay.
sure.
Yeah.
I would pay so much money to see that video.
I know, I would
Dude,
too.
it
I would
was
too.
it was insane. It was just
Well,
I was laughing.
there is a
Zooch
video though where you I won't give too much away that I haven't even seen yet where you swap fans with a fat Cowboys fan, right? Or jerseys.
Yes, that happened.
It's on Zooch's phone. You got to remind him. But
we
yeah,
need to get that from Zooch's phone. And
That
post
sounds
that,
funny.
but
I want to see that.
There was some random Cowboys fans that we ran into outside of the stadium. Not sure why they're there, but we had a friendly conversation with them, surprisingly. And
yeah. Guess what? They're
fun.
Cowboys season ticket holders. Guess where they live?
Probably Minneapolis.
Indianapolis.
Oh, what the fuck are they
Right?
doing there?
Yeah, it made no sense. But yeah, they were rich old people, so
Oh, so they
but
just
they're
seeing new
interesting.
stadiums.
They're
and
fun.
stuff.
probably.
So
You saw the man shirtless.
we'll try to we'll get that posted too. There was some interesting stuff that happened. I mean, there's a lot of things that us Vikings do when we lose like that in week one, I guess.
Dude,
Zooch
The
was just
circus
on a
comes
whole
out
other
when
level, man.
we lose. Or when
Goodness.
we win too. The circus comes out.
yeah, it's
Oh,
even
goodness
funnier
gracious.
though when we lose.
Good point.
Yeah, that was an interesting day.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break and we'll get to our interview with Kevin Falness.
Ladies and gentlemen, football season's back and hockey season is right around the corner, and 10,000 Takes has you covered for all things Minnesota Vikings, Minnesota Wild, and just 10K in general merchandise. Just go to 10ktakesmn.com. We're going to have a shop tab there, and go and check out all of our amazing items. We got plenty of gritty items. We got plenty of other great Vikings items, such as the I Love Cock Kevin O'Connell shirts and the God Bless Kirk Cousins shirt. And on top of that, we will be releasing our Minnesota Wild collection soon, and we already have our Minnesota Twins collection on the store. We got some great stuff Twins related too. Get your Twins gear before the playoffs. But once again, go to 10ktakesmn.com. It'd really support the brand if you did. Thanks a lot.
All right, welcome back to It's a Bit. We're joined by a special guest, friend of the program. We got Kevin Falness, member of Minnesota Wild Radio, host of On the Pond podcast on KFAN. Beyond the Pond
Beyond the Pond. Get it
podcast,
right, honestly.
KFAN.
That was,
Hey,
I came here because I thought you'd for sure have all my stats
at least
right.
I didn't say KFAN though.
No, you can't
I've
say
heard you
KFAN.
hate that.
I don't hate that. I think the upper management in the KFAN studios hate that.
We
So
had
you're
we had Chad Abbott on, and
Oh,
he gave us a pretty hard lecture about that. So
He's a good dude. And I'm not just saying that to kiss his ass. It's true. He's a great dude. There's a lot of good people in that building, so I feel fortunate.
Yeah, well, we're lucky to have you. I was also going to add to your resume there that you're an internet troll. Would you agree with that?
I would 100% agree. I'm a life troll. I don't do anything other than bug people, really. And I think anyone would tell you that. You guys don't know me well enough. At some point, I'll probably start bugging. Bubba
Yeah.
thinks I'm a troll.
Yeah.
100%.
He's a troll.
I think
though,
that
too.
guy hates me. He stopped following me. He stopped responding
did?
to me.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He's the one
Fuck
who's always
him.
telling everyone
That's what
else
I
to
thought.
lighten up.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I was having fun with him, and I think he got mad. And
Wow.
he's not the first. He's not the last. There's plenty of people that are done with my shtick, but that's fine. That's
Well,
No,
just
those
having
people
fun.
are stupid.
we'll have a
Too
conversation with him. We'll
No.
bring him back into the
No,
Falness
no.
fold.
I want to see him do some more of those eating challenges that he never did well in.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he challenged. He said he's the king of everything, but he wins at nothing. So,
I'm the king of this.
Well,
and he talks a lot
that's
of
for you,
shit.
Bubba.
And
And I-
smokeless tobacco.
Yeah, right.
Or something.
I think the last time we had you on was you were over Zoom, and it was me and Bubba interviewing you, and he whipped out a chicken sandwich mid podcast.
Yeah.
Just
Like
from
out
his
of
pocket.
his waistband.
Yeah, and
It
he,
wasn't-
yeah,
yeah, it was-
he doesn't even really have pockets. He always wears those shitty shorts. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised it actually stayed in there and in his shorts and didn't fall. Maybe he had a few more in there and they all came out and he just had one
Not
remaining.
to spoil the surprise, but that was a planned thing that I had the idea of, and naturally he was down.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you liked that because you were like, did you just pull a chicken sandwich out
Yeah,
of
he
your
just
pocket?
started. It wasn't like
He's
it was
like,
announced. I'm going to
"Yeah."
have a sandwich now. He just pulls it out of his waistband, literally, and starts going to town on it. All right, dude.
I told him to just pick a time to do it and just
Yeah.
do it.
It was great.
Yeah,
That's very fitting for his personality.
yeah.
The quick trip chicken sandwich guy.
Quick chicken
Yeah.
sandwich.
Good dude. I'm gonna cough here. I'm just getting over a sickness. I'm not contagious whatsoever. So
Uh-oh.
It sounds like I've been smoking. I haven't smoked in like 15, 20 years, but I've got the.
Wow.
It's just the worst. So it's going around my house now. So I'm completely healthy now. I feel good. Well, I'm not healthy,
Well,
but
it sounded like-
I'm not sick though.
Well, then
Sounded
again,
like you're
though,
close to breathing out of your neck.
No, it's what I've got is I've got asthma, and
okay.
and so when I get sick, I get my allergies, and when that goes, this is what comes.
No,
with it.
This
It-
kid's
it-
making fun of people with
not,
disabilities.
No. Not like your general voice, but when you like
Yeah, I
that
know.
sounded.
Or you
I know, it's
talk
bad,
with
it's
one
bad.
of those voice
Yeah,
boxes.
I'm canceled.
Someone
Oh,
get me
yeah.
a cigarette.
You ever seen Scary Movie?
Hello, Mr. President.
And then he freaks out, thinks that we're aliens and stuff. Oh,
Exactly.
that's great.
I was gonna say though, if you do want to cough on me, then I don't have to go to work tomorrow. So it's actually optional if you want. If you are contagious or not, I don't care.
I'm not
actually.
contagious, but we can lip
test
lock
it.
and find out.
Yeah.
Just go. I mean, we might as well go for it.
We can test it.
Worth a shot. I was gonna say though, at least you're getting your sickness out of the way now before the hockey
Yeah.
season starts.
It happens to me. For me, it's one time in the spring and one time in the fall, typically. So I know it's coming, and typically it takes my voice with it. And this didn't happen this time, but it knocked me on my ass for, I don't know, 48 hours I was dealing with it. Kids had just gone back to school, so that was good. But it's not fun. It's unpleasant, and I just had no energy to do anything. And so here I am. I think we're okay now. So
You're like a national hero to us right now for being here. Then
I don't know. I feel good. I didn't do anything extra to be here other than drive here. So typically I do
something.
if you guys were anywhere but Plymouth, because this is actually relatively close. Like if you guys were in St. Paul, I'm doing it via Zoom. I just can't. It's not that I don't. I'm too important to do anything like that. But I've got 3 young kids running around my house, my wife, and we got activities every night. So this was actually pretty convenient. So
But St. Paul's
and you guys
your
are
hub.
good dudes. St. Paul is my hub when I'm working.
Okay.
This isn't work.
Oh.
we'll catch you though before or after a game next time, and then you'll have to do an interview
Yes.
in St. Paul. So.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll just
Hey,
trap you in a corner.
Let's go down to Tom Reed's.
Well, I was
I
going to
love
say,
going
we
to
go
Tom
down to
Reed's.
Reed's, grab a couple beers.
We need to do a live show from there.
He
that would
love
actually
that.
be great.
I guarantee you, he'd love it. You guys have been down there lately?
Yep.
That patio he added down there is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's out in that back bar. And I think the front bar is cool. Even if they didn't have any of that extra stuff with the patio and all that other jazz that he added, it's still a cool place. But then he adds on that back bar with that neon North Star whatever bar sign back there, and then the open patio with the fireplace and usually some guy playing guitar. It's fantastic. Outstanding setup. So
Didn't
there's
they
the
add
plug for Tom Reed's.
Didn't they add that mobile thing too? You know what I'm talking about with like the seats on the
Yes.
side during
The
the
pedal pub.
The pedal pub. That's
I've
what
never
it's
seen
called.
it, but I've seen them promote it.
Yes.
And this is the only guarantee you'll never see Tom Reed on there pedaling that thing.
No.
He might be the
Dang it.
bartender sometimes,
Yeah.
but have any of you ever done a pedal pub?
No, but it
Never.
looks super fun.
We'll have to do that one specifically
Yeah.
and like try to see how far we can go before we quit.
There you go.
The
My
Tom Reed
over under
one.
is like 2 miles.
Well, I think you do it with a bunch of guys and see who's doing the work and who's just going along for the ride, because someone's got to pedal. And if everybody pedals, it's a lot easier. But if only 1 or 2 guys are pedaling and everyone else is getting hammered, it's not as much fun.
Right.
You know, because then 2 guys are actually working. While
It's
everyone
a
else
team
is having a
building
good time.
exercise. I was
There you
going to
go.
say too, Tom Reed's is such a popular place, especially during the wild season. He could add 4 different levels to that bar, and there still wouldn't be enough space for everyone to fit. So
100%.
I'm glad he's expanding the space, but I just know it won't be enough because it's just that much demand.
Yeah, which is a great problem to have. 'Cause,
Exactly.
You know, Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub went through some lean times, and so did everyone, not only on West 7th, but in the world in general. But during COVID, it was some pretty lean times down there because not only was there no wild hockey, there was no nothing. And the fact that those establishments were able to survive the way they were, including Tom's, is a testament to their hard work and fortitude and all that stuff. So hats off to them. Tom is one of the hardest workers out there. And so I've kissed Chad Abbott's ass so far. Now I'm kissing Tom Reed's. But he really is. I mean, I don't see that guy quitting any of his jobs, and he's got to be north of 70. I know he is. He's 75-ish, something like that. I don't know what his exact age is. It's easy to find. But you won't find a guy that works harder. He's always in his bar. He's always talking to people, and he's actually doing work down there. Plus, he's doing, 80, 90, 100 games a year with the Wild and traveling, and I mean, that's not easy. So I tip my hat to that old man. He's awesome.
See, we love Tom Reed's over here. My only complaint about it is it's 2023. I've seen enough penises in my lifetime. Can we get away from the troughs?
Yeah.
That's my only
But
complaint.
it's also kind of nostalgic.
I
It
did
goes to
not
the
know
dome.
where you were going
I
with that.
kind of love. Yeah, I was gonna say, was it the troughs or did you just see something in the corner of a Tom
I was trying to
Reed's?
think of graffiti in the area, and I couldn't think. But yeah, they do have the troughs, and that goes back to the years of the Met Center and the Metrodome. And I hated that stuff. Oh my god.
You need to, Zane. You need to put that in writing. Like, leave it a 5-star review on Google. Say fantastic, other than the cocks. period. So that way he still gets the 5-star rating, but he gets a little bit of feedback.
Exactly.
Like,
No, I
or-
like that.
Yeah.
Limit one person to the trough.
Or at least
As big
don't
as it
allow
is.
anyone in there that's bigger than me, because then I
Yeah.
just go in there and get offended.
Yeah.
I get sad.
It just makes me depressed.
Well, I know we have a lot of you. Did you ever partake in a post game party or post game at Tom Reed's? Do you ever go there after games?
In my younger years, it was the go-to destination. Now I just get the hell out of here. I go home.
Okay.
In my younger years, for sure, we would go down there all the time. And I know the refs are always down there. Tom talks all the time. He knows all the refs because they all come down and see him. He knows all the traveling parties. This is the place to go for anyone and anyone. You're looking for something to do the night before a game, or even after the game. You got night in St. Paul before you travel the next day. They're going to go down to Tom Reed's and talk to TR and have a good time. So in my younger years, I would go down there when I started in the year 2000. How old was I? 30 something. Yeah, we would tear it up down there a little bit.
I've tried to get you down there a few times. I know there
Yeah.
were games where like the Wild would be losing like 4-1, and I'll tweet at you, hey, at Kevin Falness, if the Wild come back and win this, will you join us at Tom Reed's? And you always answer with maybe. I'm like, well,
Yeah, I know.
One of these times.
that's normally a no, but if they win, maybe a maybe means yes.
Yeah. It's so hard because I'm there most of the day, and so I'll be perfectly honest. I mean, anyone that is in that broadcast booth knows that we've got our beers waiting for us after the game. So we're on the Glass club down there. That's where my radio studio is, and I got my little refrigerator. So I'm ready to go once we're off the air. I'm having a couple beers as I do my post game stuff, and then I just want to get the hell home. But yeah, I'll take you up on one of those.
I don't blame you.
sometime.
We've done it with Joe O'Donnell multiple
Yeah.
times.
I was gonna say that one time we showed up there and we were just started, pounding back some beers with Mr. Joe O'Donnell.
With
And
Joe?
that was interesting. That was fun.
You
It's
know,
a good
he's
time.
in a different situation now, though, because now he's here full time. Like before, he was free and nothing to worry about because his entire family was in Iowa. Now they're all here in Edina, and he's got to go. So it might be a different situation with Joe now.
He's got to be a
I don't know.
behaved
Oh,
man.
wow.
I get
Yeah.
it.
He's got 3 kids at home too, and a wife.
To him,
so
it was kind of a little vacation. I'm just staying in a hotel for the night. The Wild lost. Let's go to Tom Reed's. So
that's
but
probably
now
it.
he's in Edina. He's a cake eater. That's okay.
Yeah.
He
So-
is. He's growing his kids up to be cake eaters.
Dang, so you have 3 kids, he has 3 kids. Everyone in the radio booth's getting laid. Meanwhile, us podcast guys.
Doesn't mean I'm
It's a
getting
tough-
laid. It means I've got 3 kids.
It means he's had sex at least 3 times.
Congrats on that.
Yeah.
though.
Is that more
Thank
than
you.
the TV guys, though?
I have no idea. You know what? According to LaPanta's selfies, he's got like an army of 50. So I don't know about that area.
We
of
don't
his
need to get
life.
into
He,
it.
he,
No.
he is an army of like local boys from the neighborhood who just seem to help him out with tasks
Yeah.
around his yard.
I know. Because he takes selfies with them. Maybe, all right, guys, you ready? And then
Yeah.
he takes a little slap. I mean, I do have a ton of Helvey pictures, but I've been starting to save LaPanta selfies too. He takes a selfie in front of his TV backdrop. He takes a selfie in front of the food he just ate, the travels that he's on. Before he gets onto a plane, he takes a selfie. He takes a selfie before he takes a selfie.
I have an all-time LaPanta picture that I don't know what I'm going to use for. I've had this for like 2 years I don't even. So it was at the military. What's the golf tournament every year with
Yeah,
Kyle
it was
Rudolph's
defending
there.
the blue line.
Yeah.
Rudolph.
Well, he plays in it.
Oh,
He's
like,
involved in it. Like this is a big tournament.
So is it
where there's-
Rudolph's tournament?
No, like
Okay.
he's like a part of it, and like
Okay.
a ton of other big Minnesota.
So it was
names.
defending the blue line. Now it's I can't think.
I couldn't tell
United
ya.
Heroes League.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Okay, so this is the photo I have.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what. So this was a group photo he took. It's LaPanta wearing a bulletproof vest, holding an assault rifle, and I don't know what I'm going to use this. I think I'm going
Is
to
that
say like.
photoshopped?
No,
No,
this is
that's
real.
legit.
Because
Okay.
there was a bat. Look, he's got his golf glove on with
Yeah.
the assault rifle.
Yeah.
So this is something. Maybe it should be like when Falness tells people to mute their TV. Maybe I'll tweet that.
Yeah.
Like Falness walking into the radio booth, or LaPanta walking into the radio booth.
Or LaPanta outside his house when he finds out Falness is going to try to come over for dinner.
Let me just say, I mean, that picture is a good example where I hope he takes everything I say in fun, because if he gets pissed, he'll kill me.
Yeah.
I mean, look at his pipes.
He's
You're
huge.
looking at his golf glove, and he's holding a gun.
That guy
of
might have
course.
actually have killed someone before.
But yeah,
we don't know.
he's absolutely ripped. I
Yeah.
don't want him on my. I don't want to be on his shit
I
list. I probably
agree.
am.
I never knew that he was jacked until you pointed out. You're right. He has some
Oh,
arms,
yeah.
dude.
He
hides
he's
it in
a
those
specimen.
suits.
Yeah.
Plays a lot of golf too. Have you gotten to play golf with him?
I haven't or had dinner with him. No, I don't get invited to anything. And I'd probably respond with maybe anyway. But no, I've never. I have golfed with him before, but it's pretty rare.
Okay.
Maybe once. It doesn't feel like it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe like mini golf one
Yeah,
time. Pirates Cove.
Wallsy, Wes Walls, and Carter, I know, are pretty regular, but they're all out in the same area. Like I'm in St. Louis Park. They're out in the Woodbury area.
Yeah, East Side.
They're
guys.
there with the beautiful people. I get
Loggers
it.
Trail fellas.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And I'm more, nothing against Brookview or Meadowbrook, but those are the types of spots that I play because it's close to me. And
Yep.
That's what I grew up with.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap too.
I think.
Too.
Excuse me.
Whoa, did you just have?
Gosh,
I
you
just
throw
had
up?
I just had an
Just swallowed his tongue.
I had a full-on episode. I think it would be awesome if you could somehow you and LaPanta can get together. Just get over each other's differences. A beer at Tom Reed's after a Wild game.
Okay, I don't think we have differences. I like to poke the bear,
Yeah.
right? And so
What about-
I'm a troll, but
yeah.
like has been established. I don't think we have differences. I don't think he cares about me, to be perfectly honest. But I don't think he hates me.
Let's
I hope
do.
he-
You're on radio. He's on TV.
Yes, exactly. So I get it. Them, me, everyone else in between. I get that. That's fine.
Can Tom Reed swing a golf club? Joe O'Donnell?
Not anymore. And
Okay.
Joe doesn't golf. I
Okay.
just learned that. You know who did? Kurtzy. Bob Kurtzy
Ah,
lives
he's a
in
golfer?
Lake Pepin now. Loves to golf.
Okay.
So I think he still golfs down there a little bit. Tom did, but I think his maladies are probably in the way now. I don't think he can get the club back anymore.
Okay,
But
I was
he
gonna
did.
say we could do a Ryder Cup style radio versus TV type match play tournament, but
I'll make my
it's-
own
it-
foursome. I don't need Bob Kurtz or Joe O'Donnell.
it sounds like your team isn't very stacked.
No, I'll find radio people who can play golf. I don't need to go to a guy who doesn't play and a guy who can't play. I'll fill out my own foursome. Thank you.
You can bring meat sauce. You can bring me. I'm a 7, and I'm on.
Are you really?
I'm on KFAN every Saturday, so I
You might
count.
be. Yeah, if you're a 7, you're
Yeah.
better than I am. So
Yeah,
you're in.
You can have me like wind up like one cable for Wild Radio, and they'll be like, he's an employee of Wild Radio. Like,
Well, I'll
he
find a
gets
job
to be
for
part
you.
of our
If
team.
we're trying to take down the TV, but to take down the TV group, first of all, I've played with Wes Walls many times. He's a good golfer.
Yeah, I bet.
Carter can smash
Has
the
to be a
ball,
good
and he
golfer.
counts as a TV guy.
Rolled your
LaPanta,
eyes.
obviously, I assume LaPanta's a good golfer because he golfs every freaking day. So if that's 3 of their 4, I'm trying to think who they're Parrish.
They're gonna have to give us a
Could
few
be a
bumps.
golfer.
They're gonna have to give us a few
think so.
strokes.
I think so.
Alexis Pearson plays like once a month. I think she played in
Yeah.
our golf tournament the first year.
But you know what? That's what you find out when you're doing scrambles. You need to find a gal who can hit the ball because they get from the ladies' tees, and if they can play, it's free money.
Exactly.
So if she can play, I've never played with Alexis, but
All right, we'll get to work.
she's on staff. Well, that
you're
might be work.
your team captain. You're Zach Johnson here. You just got to make the picks.
I don't want Helvey. Helvey doesn't go. He's out. I don't know who else I have to choose from, but I'll go down the KFAN roster. And we'll find someone.
Common Man. Duh.
Muss. You know who golfs?
He's a lock.
Muss.
Musk.
Cole, Common, Molesky. So I've got some guys to choose
there
from.
you go.
but Muss. So I've got a good story of a foursome that I don't know how I got wrangled into, but I know Muss pretty well. And Molesky and I do some stuff, and then Common. That was the foursome, and so Molesky and Common are in one group, and Muss and I are in the other. I say group, but we're in the different carts, and so we're playing a golf together, and all of us are playing okay. I'm probably awful. Muss is a great golfer, but he was having a bad round. The other two guys were kind of mucking it up too, and their golf cart is just miserable. I mean, MF this, MF that, throwing their golf clubs, just not talking to each other. They're just having a miserable experience. We're playing just as bad, if not worse, Muss and I in our group. We're just laughing. We're having a good time, and I think that really annoyed the Molesky Common group because we were just over there having a crappy round too, but we were having a good time. We're having fun. We're laughing and having a good time with each other, and I think that really annoyed them and probably added to their angst and another reason why they didn't play well that time. So it's fun though. Muss is a good guy to golf with. You get a chance.
Does PA golf?
I don't know. I doubt it.
I feel like if he golfed, he would just be screaming.
Yeah. I think he'd
Like
be
he does on
fun.
Commentate his own
podcasts.
putts.
He'd be fun. He's so intense, though. I mean, he's
is.
a great personality, fun dude.
Yeah.
I don't know that he'd make a good golfer. You know?
No.
No! Yeah, he just immediately slices
Just
it.
screaming.
Yeah.
The hole
That
cannot end
intensity.
like this.
Yeah, he would just start describing everything and in the great way he does, but like on the golf course,
Yeah.
broadcasting to nobody.
Yeah. You guys should have Muss on your little podcast here. He's
should.
He's a good dude, and
He,
he's a hockey fan. I didn't
knows
mean
us.
little podcast.
This
I meant-
little podcast.
Little podcast. Wow.
As you said, we have like the
I'm
coolest
offended.
house you've ever seen.
It really is. This is
Little podcast.
I've been in some bachelor pads, and I've lived in some, and they ain't like this. There's a fresh carpet down here. It's,
We do. The one under me has a wine. There's a wine stain somewhere here, not from us,
That's
from
mine?
our North Dakota hockey guys. But yeah,
Okay.
Hey, when Kevin Falness shows up to your studio, you clean up before.
Is that right?
True,
Yes.
true.
The vacuum got ran through.
Yeah, the vacuum got turned on. Maybe like a shelf got dusted, like
there's
around
still some
the objects
stains.
on it. Yeah,
That looks great.
You
See
need,
how
you
much
need to
of
give it a
security
little bit
deposit we
of
get back.
character, though. We need
Yeah.
some stains. Well, you say like you got fresh carpet laid here, like you didn't have any carpet or anything in your bachelor pad. What did you have in your?
Dude, I mean,
bachelor pad?
listen to me. If I could tell you some of the douchebags that I lived with, and some of the stuff that we did, they did, and I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of what it was like before I moved to Denver. This is like 1995. So from 90, I graduated in 90. I don't know. Let's say 93 to 95. I was living in a house in St. Louis Park with some buddies, and I mean, that place should have been condemned. My sister, when I moved to Denver, my sister and her friends ended up moving in there, and I don't know what they even sold it for. We actually bought that house. I think my dad probably bought it for like $83,000, if you can imagine.
day.
No.
In St. Louis Park, that house right now, I guarantee, is going for
$1 million.
It's still a dirty, ugly place, and we've seen pictures when it goes up on the market. There's like mold in the basement. It's really disgusting. But I guarantee it's going for 300 something. Just because it's in St. Louis Park,
and because you live there.
and
Yeah,
because I live
true.
there.
Yeah. Kevin, it
Is
says
there
in
an
the
o-
description, Kevin Falness
That's
lived
right.
here.
honorary
Yeah.
plaque on the wall that's
Yeah.
not allowed to be moved.
There's
100%.
some stain that's still there.
Yep.
And it wasn't wine.
No,
let me tell you.
unknown substance. You can't get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I've lived in some bad. We had another one in when I was in Denver. It was a townhome, and I got in there in the tail end. So there was about 4 or 5 dudes there. One of them is the current voice of the Colorado Avalanche, Mark Mosier. Another guy. You guys want to talk Avalanche? Funny dude, and he's in radio in Colorado as we speak. But we were down there with him, and that place. Again, all we did there was play Sega. That's all we did. Video games. I think it was Sega. We were playing hockey, and I think that was probably it. I don't even think we played Madden. But we would stay up all night. Mosier was there with his then fiance, and they would get so mad because they just wanted to go to sleep and be lame. And we're up there playing video games in the loft and making a lot of noise, like young men would.
Yeah.
And that's
Sounds like the life to me.
yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I had a dog in there. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Good times.
I think we got to start talking about the Minnesota Wild here, okay?
If you want to, I'm rusty.
I want to talk about bachelor pads. some more. No,
I
I'm
thought you
just
were gonna
joking.
say basketball.
Oh,
yeah.
we can talk
Falness loves
basketball.
that.
No,
Yeah,
I can't do
no.
basketball.
Basketball.
I went to my first Lynx game, and that's not a shot at the Lynx or that I'm above women's basketball. I'm just not a basketball fan in any form, whoever's playing it. And we went. We were invited by a group of neighbors, and it was fun.
Yeah, good time.
Put on a little show. I have no idea who won. I don't even know who they played. I can't. I don't know if I could name any of the players on the team anymore. I at one time I could. I know
Ryan
Cheryl
Moore,
Reeve,
When they were Dynasty, I could name
Yeah,
a few.
for
yeah,
sure.
but not anymore.
Waylon when she was on the team.
Yeah.
And Cheryl Reeve, I think, is awesome. I think she's done an amazing job with that franchise. But they put on a pretty good show.
Same with the Timberwolves. We never go to Timberwolves games. We went to their play-in last year, and it was a blast.
It was
It
fun.
was
It
a
was a
really
good time.
Also
Good
pretty
environment.
cheap tickets for a playoff game, too,
Yeah.
which was surprising but nice.
Yeah.
It was nice to see him in a playoff game.
Yeah.
In general.
Or at least
Timberwolves don't do
in
shit.
a play-in game, which is
Yeah,
They've had
slam.
a rocky existence, and it's not easy. Krasinski gives me crap all the time too because I boast about the Wild's history, whereas to be honest, they've only been to the conference finals once. And same thing with the Timberwolves. So it's not like either team has a lot to brag about when it comes to that type of stuff. But the Target Center, to me, I think they've really turned it around a lot. There was a time where it was right up there with the Metrodome with one of the biggest piles of junk that you've ever sat in. I remember the Metrodome with mice and stuff running around. It's just disgusting. Target Center, I don't think has reached that level yet, but thankfully, some of those renovations, it's kept it at least current.
Yeah.
I still think they need to blow it up and start over, but I don't think that's going to happen.
we got to
to
win a
Seattle.
championship first.
That would be nice.
Hey, we got a future MVP in Ant. But, yeah, let's talk about the Minnesota Wild here. I just want to know, I've seen a lot of people say that Dino is on the hot seat. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't agree with it. I mean, I hope not, but I mean, it's a results-based not a profession, not even just the NHL. Head coach in anything, you need results or you're on the hot seat. If you want to say he's on the hot seat, you can say that. But I don't think you'd ever hear Bill Guerin say that.
Yeah.
And you guys know him better than I do. Bill Guerin loves Dean Evison.
He does.
He absolutely is emphatic that he's doing a great job. And I agree with it. I mean, this is a team right now that's in a bit of a bind in where they are, and they did it to themselves, but still, it hasn't made it easy on Dean Evison. I think considering all that he's been up against, he's done a great job. I've really enjoyed working with him, and having worked with each of the coaches since the year 2000, he's been one of my favorites. He's fantastic to work with, great to deal with, and I think his on-ice acumen is second to none. So he's a hockey guy through and through, and I hope he's here for the long haul.
Well, and also we'd hate to see another coach come in and we don't get to enjoy those overtime assaults he puts on the rest of the coaching
Poor
staff.
Darby,
Yeah,
right?
poor Darby. We've had him on here, and we're like, you're basically a punching bag, and he agreed with us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, you know what? You take what you got to do to keep your job. But if there's ever a guy that can take a punch, it's Darby Hendrickson.
Oh, I bet.
You're talking about LaPanta. I mean, Darby is cut from steel, and
Yeah.
always has been, and it feels like he just keeps getting stronger and stronger. So, yeah, if there's a guy that can handle it on that coach, I think they're all okay, can handle it. But Darby's a guy that can take a punch.
Have you ever texted Darby Hendrickson, by the way? Because he does not know how to text.
Have I texted him? I can't say that he's responded, but if I have to have him on like Beyond the Pond or something like that, I just hope that he gets the text.
Okay.
And that he remembers.
He,
He sees it and doesn't.
Him and Cam, when we were getting him on the show, he had a series of texts that we could not understand, and we tried to bring him up to him, and he had no idea. I think it was talk to text that he was using. I'm about 99% sure he was trying to do talk to text, and it didn't work.
I've texted him a couple times since, and it's a lot better.
Okay.
But here, I'll read. Let me scroll up. And he wouldn't be mad because I shared this with him on the pod.
Yeah.
He loved it. But
Yeah.
So
You don't
this
have a mic,
is
Chase.
I don't have a mic.
yeah. So we met him at the
Henderson
at the
alumni
Hendricks-
game.
Yeah, at the hockey tournament, and I got his number and introduced myself or whatever. So I texted him maybe like a week later, and I said, "Hey, coach, are there any like Tuesdays? Blah 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 blah." And he replies at 11:12 p.m. And says, "Cam, enter. Late text, enter. Won't be able Tuesday, enter. Possibly next. Let's talk." Next week on ... enter. Going on with Eric and Wally dash 10K enter. Takes tomorrow enter. They do show ... You guys do podcast enter or separate ?
That's an old guy like me texting.
We read that off to him, and he's like, I could not tell you what the hell I was thinking.
Yeah,
or what.
and he was sitting there for a couple seconds. He's like, I'm trying to think.
He's like,
I don't know.
He was
I
like,
don't know.
He was like, I don't think I was drinking heavily then.
I was like, what time was it at?
Yeah.
And you're like, I was like, what? When was it?
11:30.
AM, right? Oh,
Tim, he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I think he was thinking you were gonna say like 3 a.m. and he's gonna be like, oh, that makes sense. But he's like, no, I wasn't drunk. He literally sat there for 20 seconds trying to think.
He
of
tried to dissect
it.
it.
I don't know.
There was no answer.
How was he on the show?
Amazing.
Fantastic.
There's not a nicer
He's-
guy
right.
in
He's-
the world, let alone hockey.
No, he's super supportive, super nice. Obviously, knows his shit. Are we having a focus crisis here, Cam?
Only
Sorry,
on your
look at you
guys' camera.
Working
yeah.
on the fly. It's Falness. He just keeps sipping from that.
I'm a
McGolden.
radio guy. You turn it off.
Is it like
Just talk.
curse?
Turn the fucking thing
I mean,
off.
a stupid
Turn it
video. Video's for the lazy. Just listen to us talk.
So, we're gonna keep going on wild questions. Does Marco Rossi? Is this the year he finally does it? Does he
First
break
of
out?
all, have some respect for him and say his
Rossi.
name correctly.
Okay. To my credit, he went 2 years in this organization without telling anybody that everyone was fucking his name up.
Yeah, I know. This used to be a nemesis of Bob Kurtz because I get the pronunciations from these guys during training camp, and every once in a while I'd have to tell him that this guy changed his name. He goes, "Bullshit! It's been 10 years. I'll be this." A perfect example of that is Kim Janssen when he came here, the former number 5 for the Minnesota Wild back in the early years. Was in the league for 10, 15 years. Maybe it was 10 years with the Philadelphia Flyers. Kim Janssen. He comes here, and I say, hey, Kim, would you mind reading this? We want to use it for the radio. He says, "Hi, this is Kim Johnson. You're listening to Wild Hockey." I look at him, I go, "You said Kim Johnson?" He goes, "Yeah, that's fine." Well, now, wait a second. You've been in the league 10 years. People know who you are, and you're just going to change your pronunciation?
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm Kim Johnson.
wait, that blows my mind. Is it actually Kim Johnson?
No, I don't know why he said it that way.
Yeah,
It's
that-
Kim Janssen.
I'd be sitting there. I'd be like not being able to sleep over that at night.
He was playing mind
Like it's
games
Kim
with you
Janssen.
guys.
I don't know that he was, but he decided he was going to change his name. Another one, well, I mean, Derek Boogard, it's actually Bogard, but
Yeah.
he changed because for the nickname Boogie, the Boogeyman. So that one makes sense. I'm trying to think of some other ones that have come across the line.
Latondress.
Well, it's almost like
Latondress was that was always the way it was, but it was just a mouthful. Guillaume Latondress. That was a monster.
It is crazy when people that status do it because Darius Leonard, the linebacker for the Colts, was Darius Leonard for years, and then last year he's like, "No, I want to be called my middle name Shaq." And it's like,
Nuts.
you
no
have
one's-
so many people that you need to get that caught up on
Yeah.
that it's gonna piss you off when you hear a mixture of both. Like you're never gonna be able to
I'm
stop
not calling
from
you
people
that
calling
anymore.
you Darius.
Everyone was stuck between Parisi and Parisi.
Parisi and
That
Prize.
one, and that was because of Doc Emmerich, and God bless Doc Emmerich. But I mean, honest to God, no one's gonna know better than Tom Reed.
Right.
He was roommates, best friends with JP, and JP. So Tom was in this thing, and this has been all of JP's life. He's answered. The French version might be Parise, but it's Parisi. So he told Tom Reed, "I've got it on tape." Him saying, not tape, whatever you call it these days. I've got it on tape. JP saying it's very easy. All you have to do is, it's always easy. Winning is easy with JP Parisi. That's his name.
Okay,
That was
okay.
JP
Parisi.
Parisi saying it. He never said anything about Parise, but I don't think that Zach or JP were all that hung up about it if anyone did the French pronunciation of it, but 100% that's a true story. JP said winning is easy with JP Parisi and his awesome French accent.
Yeah.
Well, I remember another Mikhail Granlund. Was it Granlund?
Granlund.
Because Doc Emmerich was always like Granlund at the corner. Granlund.
Granlund, whatever he said,
Yeah.
but he got it directly from him. And there is something to that when you get the European pronunciation, they start to jack with it a little bit, and they try to dumb it down for the North American folks. But that one was another one there. You didn't need to stir up that hornet's nest.
No.
It sounds dumb.
Well,
Yeah.
And Granlund was fine being called.
Granlund.
I still call him Kyle Granlund. But I know Doc on one of those broadcasts called him Granlund because he went to him and he gave him this different pronunciation, whatever it was.
I don't want to pump your tires too much here, but there are a lot more notable examples of this with the national broadcasts. Like you have every time Fiala was playing with us, they'd say Fiala. I remember people would say Fiala.
That's
And
another
I'm
one.
like,
that one
Emmerich
in
would do.
particular.
or
Fiala.
even worse, Capo Kakinen, Kakinen.
Yeah.
People always called him Kakinen. I'm like, it's
Capo Kakinen.
Kakinen. Like,
In
where are you?
fact, I
Where
can
are you
hear
getting?
it in his voice.
Where are you getting the
Capo
O?
Kakinen.
There's an A. Like it's how it's pronounced.
So how do you pronounce it?
Capo Kakinen?
Capo
Or
Kakinen.
sorry, Capo Kakinen.
Capo.
Capo
Kakinen.
Kakinen.
Capo Kakinen.
And that's how he'd say it in his Mikko
Capo
Koivu voice.
Kakinen?
What's your name? My name's Capo Kakinen.
Capo Kakinen.
Capo Kakinen.
Capo-
So it is Cock.
And then
It
they
is
had
Kakinen.
they had the guy on the Rangers
Cack.
who's still there as Capo Kako. Capo.
Caco
something.
Capo, yeah.
So, and they were both in the game
that
at the same
poor,
time. That was his
that
rookie
poor
season.
guy
Yeah, I
must
know.
just have
Caco.
Caco Capo.
And then I think we all fell victim to when Kirill was coming here. I mean, when he got drafted,
yeah.
it was Kirill Kaprizov.
Kaprizov.
Yeah.
Now that sounds weird saying, but
I know.
forever it was Kaprizov, and then someone blew my mind saying it was Kaprizov, and
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with that. But 3 months later, I was used to it. Now Kaprizov
Well, and
sounds weird.
Kaprizov though flows way off the
Yeah.
tongue better than Kaprizov because
But-
there's that eerie where you have to jump
Yeah.
up. And
Yep.
it's,
But yeah,
When the former number 10 was drafted, Doug Risebrough announced his selection back in the year 2000 as Gaborik.
Yep.
Marian Gaborik.
Marian Gaborik.
Yeah, so we still have that on tape or
at
video
least
somewhere.
at least he actually said a name other than Carey Price did.
Well-
he didn't even say a name. He was like,
He froze
up.
You could tell too, like
Yeah.
when they were developing some like older NHL video games, like you could tell they didn't do their research in some of the names. Like we have Eric Belanger up there. I think it's Belanger, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And they would say Eric Bellinger.
Oh, no.
Like
Yeah.
Read it.
I'm like I'm sitting there as like a 10-year-old. It's not Bellinger. And I'm like, but they're tough names. You don't deal with this in any other sport. I
No,
feel like.
it's I think the NBA and some of these other sports are getting more international, but
Yeah.
the National Hockey League has been international for many, many years. I think it's great on our staff, whether it's TV, whether it's radio, even Adam Abrams with PA on the public address there at XL Energy Center. We'll go to the visiting guys and ask them, how do you say the names? And we'll go down the pronunciation list. So we're all on the same page. And I know Joe and Adam talk to each other, and everybody's on the same page. But you go into some of these other arenas, and they don't do that due diligence. And so you'll hear, I'm trying to think of the one that was so glaring, Joel. We hear Joel Eriksson-Ek a lot. You know, they don't do the due diligence to figure out how his name is. That's a
Joel.
pretty important part of the Wild team. You should know how to say his name.
Yeah.
And there's some other ones too that I can't come up off the top of
Probably
my head.
Jonas Brodin. They
That
call
might
him
be a good one.
Jonas Brodin.
Jonas
Brodin.
Jonas.
Yeah.
I saw Russo said in one of his athletic articles that like Wallstead is actually Volstead.
Yeah.
Volstead.
So it says
Yeah.
you say
Jesper
Volstead.
Volstead.
Jesper
Volstead.
Volstead.
I
Okay.
just-
And he
just
said
don't
that
even
to
say
us
the
last
T.
year, so I don't think he's changing it. But Jesper Volstead.
Okay.
With
But
a V.
you can't say that to a lot of these suburban dads up in or outside of suburban.
Bob
like
and
Maple Lake.
Maple Lake.
You can't tell them it's Volstead. What? I'm gonna keep calling him Wallstead.
Go right ahead. Call him
Yeah.
whatever you want, but that's what he says for now. It could change next week. We're going to
Volstead.
get all these guys to come through again, and we'll double check it. But as far as
Yeah,
I
the
know,
Kim-
Jesper Volstead.
The Kim Johnson thing is mind blowing that he said that when we know it's Kim Johnson.
Bob Kurtz almost blew an artery at that point when I told him that. He says, and I played the audio for him, and he says it's Kim Johnson. For 10 years, the guy was, I don't know if he was an all-star defenseman, but he was a pretty elite
Yeah.
defenseman in the National Hockey League with Philadelphia. Comes over here and he becomes Johnson.
If you have enough money and fame, you can just do whatever you want. Actually, any of us could just do that. Jake, you could just start going by Bring
Gald.
Gald.
I've actually been called that before.
Well, there you go.
I heard someone call Nick Schultz growing up Nick Shoots. It just doesn't make
Really?
any sense.
No.
That was only one person. Like that doesn't make sense.
No.
And then Kel Clutterbuck was another one. But then-
Clutterbuck
People
was
just
an
called
awesome
him
name.
Clutterfuck.
Clut-
though.
yep.
That's
I
more or
can't
less.
believe that guy's still in the league, and
It
he's
is
still
nuts.
playing. He's not playing to the level like he did when he was here because he was a bowling ball. He would just run through people, and what a force. But I still watch him. He's taking guys' heads off. He's going 100 miles an hour. Maybe not for 30 minutes a game, but when he's out there, you know he's there.
You hear his name come up, and you kind of have to like cock your head a little bit, and you're like, oh yeah, that is the same guy.
Yeah,
It's
he's
so
still
weird.
playing.
That's been playing since I was like in middle school.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird that he's still in the league.
Yeah.
Because I had his jersey, like 2010.
The Clutterbuck?
And
The
we'd walk around middle school and everybody, Clutterfuck, oh, Clutterfuck, oh, nice. But I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, you know, but
That's why I love Clayton Stoner, man.
yeah, Clayton
Yeah.
Stoner.
Yeah.
Another good
Stoners
dude.
love him too. I bet. Just
Yeah.
To get his jersey.
Matt Cook was that grinder guy for a while. wasn't
Matt
he?
Cook was an agitator. I mean, when the Wild played against Vancouver and Cook was on that team, he's the guy that I don't know if he broke Matt Johnson's foot, but Matt Johnson was the Derek Bugard of the Wild before Derek Bugard, and he took his stick blade and he whacked it over Johnson's foot. So Johnson's pissed, but then Cook turtles back and goes behind the refs, and he couldn't get to him. And that's just vintage Matt
Such a
Cook.
Cook move,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's so Matt Cook because he would have got destroyed by Matt Johnson, but he's going to do his little antics, and he's going to turtle the other way.
Isn't he like a coach around here?
He
these
is.
days?
Yeah, he's in high school hockey.
That's
It's crazy
awesome.
how
Matt
life
Cook
goes.
is?
Yeah.
Matt
Oh,
Cook
wow.
is
That is
coach. I
wild.
think he's like an assistant coach. Zannon, I think last I heard was doing I think Stillwater, but I mean we've got a ton of these old time. Josh Harding, I think is still coaching the Edina. Is
Okay.
somehow goalie coach.
Damn.
With Kurt Giles. So yeah, they're everywhere, which is awesome.
They are certainly everywhere. Let's transition into something we want to do. We're going to call this hard-hitting, unpredictable questions. Simply, these are questions that you'll probably have no idea what the answers will be, and then if you ever try to rip on us, we'll just clip these of you being wrong.
Okay.
And use them against you.
Good.
But you
I got one for the end. So when you're done,
Okay.
then I've got a hard-hitting question
Okay.
that
For
you're not
us.
expecting.
Okay. Okay.
For one person in particular.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So, question 1, Minnesota Wild 2023 preseason record prediction.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's 3 columns there too.
Yeah, I
Wins,
can't.
losses, overtime.
No, I can't do the math. First of all, I will say they probably. I think they finished 3rd in the division. I don't know how many points that is, or how many wins, or how many bleeping goals they're going to score. But I think it goes Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota.
Okay, in the preseason final.
Oh, you're talking about the preseason?
Preseason only
This
right
is
now.
preseason
Oh
record.
God! I
Preseason
don't, if
record.
they went 0-6, I don't care. There's 6 preseason games. They'll go 3-3. They won.
Okay.
I think they have 2 home games. Maybe 3. We'll say they go 3-3.
3, 2, and 1.
3-2 and 1.
Okay,
and one.
I'm writing that down.
Not
in
a
the official.
shootout. And
Yeah,
overtime loss. No shootouts in the preseason.
Yeah.
Okay, who's going to score the first goal of the preseason?
I'm gonna say Marco Rossi.
Okay.
No, wait, he's not gonna play in that one.
He's
But
not.
It's gonna be one of the young guys. I'm gonna say Carson Lambos.
Okay.
He is one of the greatest Minnesota Wild preseason players of all time.
Yeah.
Like, it's time to have the conversation about Marco Rossi in that respect.
Yeah,
From last year, at least.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty crazy swing into the regular season.
hopefully
but-
we find out that he's going to be a great regular. They need Marco Rossi. They need him, his brothers, and anyone he ever met. They need that Marco Rossi in the lineup this year. So hopefully whatever happens in whatever he's been doing in the offseason, hopefully it translates in the preseason and carries over in the regular season because they need him.
Yep.
All right, now we're on to the 2023-2024 regular season record prediction.
3rd is what you
So you
said.
said 3rd in the division.
3rd in the division. I don't know how many wins that takes. I don't know how many points that takes. I'm not going to do the math here. I think they come close to 100 points, and I think that's good enough for 3rd in the division, and 100% they're in the playoffs.
I think they're going to go 45, 28, and 9.
9
That's
9
90
overtime losses.
That's 99 points.
Okay, is that right? I didn't do the math.
I think that's
45 is
45
90.
times 2, 90,
And you said 9, so
and 9 because I think 28.
99.
Yes, so 99 points. I think that's
is
good
that
for
82
3rd
games?
place.
45 plus 19 plus 9.
No,
is
no,
that
no, no,
82?
45 plus 28. That's 73
See,
plus 9.
Holy
don't know,
shit, we
too.
need a calculator.
Oh,
40,
yeah.
45.
I'm not.
No,
I'm not
that's
here
it.
to do math.
That's right.
If you want
I'm just
math,
saying,
have LaPanta.
I was
but-
just thinking in my head, that's a good 3rd place record.
Well, like I said, I think they hover around the 100-point barrier once again, and I think they make the playoffs.
Okay, write
Okay.
down that record, though, because that would be
Yeah,
equivalent
yeah.
to 3rd place.
Who's going to get the first goal of the regular season?
Kirill Kaprizov.
That's-
really going
that's a
off the
low-hanging
board there.
fruit
Yeah,
there.
right?
But
I think anytime a goal is scored, there's a good chance 97 at the very least is going to be involved. But I'd like to see him hit the 40-ish plateau, maybe 45-ish. God willing, maybe even the 50. The biggest thing is for all these guys and this team to have success, they got to stay healthy. And that guy with a bullet has to stay healthy.
That guy has
for
to
them
stay
to have
healthy.
any success. If he gets 40-some goals and 100-some points, that means he's probably been healthy all year, and the Wild are on a good track.
Yeah.
You said Kirill. It's Kirill. No, I'm just
yes.
joking. I think it's Kirill.
Who knows what it is in Russian?
Yeah, I know.
Who's going to be the first player to get in a fight in the regular season?
Pat Maroon.
I love that
Yeah,
one.
right.
I'm ready.
I like the Ryan Reeves experiment. I think it would have been fun to have him back again. But Pat Maroon is like I don't want to say a smaller version of Ryan Reeves. I mean, he's not a heavyweight like Ryan Reeves. But who is? Who's going to fight Ryan Reeves anymore? We saw that.
Yeah.
Pat Maroon will fight just about anyone as well, but he also has some offensive punch, and he's a guy that's got some pedigree. Not that Ryan Reeves didn't, but I love the addition of Pat Maroon. And if someone's going to get into a fight, it's probably going to be either Pat Maroon, maybe Marcus Foligno, or maybe Ryan Hartman blew a bolt again. But most likely, it'd probably be Pat Maroon.
You could sprinkle Brandon Duhaime on there, too.
Yes,
Sometimes he
yeah.
likes to fight. I was going to say, too, it would have been cool to keep Revo, but if you looked at the contract he got in Toronto,
Crazy
we
numbers.
wouldn't have been able to even sniff
Was it
that.
3 years?
$3 million on 3 years.
That's ridiculous.
It's unbelievably ridiculous.
It's crazy
So-
someone gave him that much term.
Isn't he
to be
38
honest.
right now?
He's old.
Yeah.
He's old,
He's up
and
there.
I think maybe a 1 or 2 year contract would have made sense for just about anyone. But 3 years, so Toronto, they've got some fun toys to
They're,
protect.
ta-
up
they're
there,
taking
but
all of our leftovers. They got Klingberg up there now.
Yeah.
They there's one more name I can't
Sloppy
remember.
seconds,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much. Pretty much.
That'd be an electric debut though for Patty. He gets
That'd be
into
great.
fight the first game.
How
That'd be
about
awesome.
a Gordy? I'll predict a
Gordy,
Gordy in the.
First
Gordie
game,
Howe
opening
hat trick.
game.
What is that? That's a assist, a goal, and a fight,
Yep.
right?
Close.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Correct.
empty. No.
No, I was fucking with you.
Oh, I was like,
And an
what,
empty
what am I
net.
missing?
Goal, assist, and a fight.
Yep.
We'll predict a Gordy for Pat
right.
Maroon. Yeah, go ahead and edit that one in.
All right,
For
we like
Patty?
that. Yeah.
All right, the first player to go tarps off.
Jake Middleton.
Yep.
It's without.
It's easy
He
one.
does tarps off with me. Well, I don't. He does, but on the radio. So yeah, it's just his thing now. I guess he just does interviews without a shirt on.
Well, I think we got to solidify that now. I think you just got to go tarps off whenever someone else goes tarps off on
No
the radio.
No, I've been trying to talk Gorg into doing. Wouldn't that
Oh.
be better?
We've
for the
tried to talk
Valleys?
to Gorg about
Kevin
that as well.
Gorg.
We've also tried
He
to talk
said
to
no?
Russo about it as well.
What if Gorg was just tarps off during like one of his like intermission reports or whatever?
That'd be
or interviewing them?
fantastic.
I
So,
think, yeah.
the setup down there is so Gorg, of course, is in prime location. He's right outside the door to the locker room, and I'm right around the corner, and so I can hear everything that's going on out there. But the other thing is that he holds over my head is there's a pecking order, and of course, radio's dead last. TV gets to pick first, national, then local, then Spanish, then everyone, and then finally home radio gets to pick. So we'll go right down the list of. I'll ask him first who he's going to pick, and I of course have a pretty good idea. Whoever scored that period, that's who he's going after, and I got to go after the second guy. But it very rarely do I get my first choice of guys because Kevin Gorg and TV rule the planet once again.
Yep. Yep. Our next question on here is, do we make the playoffs?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I think that's an easy one.
You already said that too. You said 100% we're going to make the playoffs when you
I-
said we were
I
doing
agree,
100.
too.
I do
I
feel
feel
that
like-
way, and it's not just because I'm ringing the bell, whatever, kissing butt. I really do feel that this team, if healthy, will make the playoffs. I don't know that that's a huge leap to say that. It's still a pretty good division, and it's a great conference, but I think the Wild are built well enough that they can. If they get somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 points, they're in the playoffs. And I don't know how you guys feel. I think they're going to be around 100 points, and they should make the playoffs. The only thing that submarines that is if 97 gets hurt, or if their goaltending all of a sudden, goes belly up, which I don't expect. So as long as they got the goaltending, they got Kaprizov, and they got these other parts that they can build around it, I think they'll be fine. It's not going to be easy because of what they're up against with the cap constraints. Who knows if they can carry an extra forward or any other garbage that goes along with it. But 97 stays healthy, they get goaltending, and then their defensive core is fantastic. And even if something goes wrong and they have to bring a guy up from Iowa, they've got some good.
They have
pieces
so
coming
many
up
down
in the
there
mix.
with
Yeah.
deep
They really do,
prospects.
and we're going to
Yeah.
see those guys this weekend. The prospect tournament going on at Tria Rink. So they're in good shape there. You got solid defense. I think their goaltending is going to hold up, and then of course you got a game changer in 97. So I don't think there's any doubt. I fully expect them to make the playoffs. If they don't make it, something went really wrong this season.
They just have to limit those fucking 10-game losing streaks they like to go on. Maybe cut those down to 5. I get that there's ebbs and flows in the season, and then they'll win 20. But the period of time, was it right after Christmas and then right after their spring break trip, where it seems like when they come back from a vacation, they just play total shit.
Yeah.
I would love if we could cut that down in half, the losing streaks down in half.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see them spend an extra night in Vegas this year. I think that kicked them in the ass, and they felt it for an extended period of time. But that just seems like I don't know what it is about this team, but there's been some time there where we call that abyss, whatever. They just sink in, and somewhere in December, January, February, it feels like you always know it's coming. You just don't know how, why, or when, but you know that streak is coming.
Yeah.
That slump. Maybe they'll bust out of that this year.
Yeah.
Next up, I think we're going to name a bunch of pending free agents after the season, and we want to know which ones are going to get re-signed and which ones aren't, okay?
Okay.
First one we have up here is Marcus Foligno.
Yeah, you're under the same constraints next year. That's the problem here, where you're going to have $14 million against the cap before you even touch the ice. So that is what sucks, and he makes a nice chunk of change. But do they sign him? I don't know. Do they want to? Absolutely. He's a heartbeat type of guy for this team, and I think they'd love to have him
Well,
back.
because you got to think, too, if any of the guys on this list have a breakout year, they're going to want more money that we're not going to be able to pay. So
Exactly.
That's what we're worried about.
But you don't want them to not succeed because then the team doesn't succeed.
Yeah.
So it's such a tricky situation.
Yeah, it's not easy, and your guy Billy is up against it. It's
He'll
not,
somehow always figures it out. I don't know how, but he'll do something. Anyways,
Talking about another guy in the hot seat is Bill Guerin.
Let's
People were trying to.
get him on. I
figure
want
that
you to
out.
say that to his face.
Yeah, are you on the hot seat?
well, Jake did text him when he got his promotion to president of hockey ops. He goes, "So is your job available now? Like, where can I apply? Like, I want to be the GM. I played enough NHL GM mode.
I'm like, I haven't seen it on the website. I couldn't find where to
Tried
apply.
to find it on
what,
Indeed.
what was his response?
I honestly forgot. I think it was like, thanks, man. I don't think the job's available or something like that. So yeah, we've had some few interesting conversations with Bill. So
Yeah,
he's a good dude.
he is
Hope he
a
stays
great
here a
guy.
while.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Jake. Next name.
Yeah. Ryan Hartman.
I hope so. I think it kind of depends on what happens. He's an unrestricted free agent after this year. That's
I
true.
think so.
If that's the case, I think it kind of depends on the type of year he has. You know, he fits in so nice between Kaprizov and Zuccarello that if they have that chemistry going this season and they're able to maintain it, yeah, hell yeah, I think you want him back. I guess it just depends on how the season goes.
He's another tricky one because currently he's like top 10 rated, like best contracts in the NHL. So he's certainly going to want to raise, I would think, after the last few years, or at least the year before with record points. But that all depends on the season. That's why we're pinning you up with these, so that when they don't resign, we'll be like, well, don't listen to, like, Falness is trying to rip on us. Like, don't listen to him. He thought that fucking Foligno was going to resign. Like, what a nerd.
Yep.
We'll see what happens to Hartman now. He's had his little ceremony this year. Now he's married.
He's got the
over
marriage
course
out
of
of
the
the
summer.
way.
So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. He might
Yeah.
be locked down. That might be taking up his time
True.
now. He's got the wife at home that he's got to keep happy. So I don't know. We'll see how he goes.
She might
Breakout
want to
year,
start,
maybe.
She might start wanting kids.
Yeah, and then he's got to focus on
Then he
that.
gets to have unprotected sex, so
Yeah.
then he's probably even happier.
I was
There's a
gonna
lot
say.
of variables there. Let's go Pat Maroon. I know this is tough. He hasn't even played a game in a wild sweater yet, but
I don't know. I have no idea. I think that it's the same thing with Reeves. I think they would have loved to have Reeves back, but you're not going to pay him that amount of money for that amount of term. So it depends on how the year goes, and it depends on what they have. You know, the pecking order, I would think Maroon is towards the bottom.
yeah.
You know, he's a fourth-line guy. He's, you know, what kind of impact is he going to have? But I think he's going to be another valuable piece to this roster as a whole. But what does that mean for him going next year? And you got some young kids that are going to be knocking on the door here next year too. And as this year into next year into the year after. So he might be, I don't want to ever call a guy expendable, but I think it depends on how this season goes and how the cards fall going into next year.
What do you think about Brendan Duhaime?
I hope that he's here for life.
Yeah,
I
he's
love that guy.
awesome.
I love him. I love Connor Dewar. What's his face too?
Mason Shaw.
Mason Shaw. Man, I
Yeah.
love the way those guys play.
That was a fun line this year.
God, it was so much fun, and especially even shorthanded when you got Duhaime and Dewar out there.
The Deweys.
I would love to see those guys here on an extended period of time. So if they can make it work for Duhaime, I really hope they do.
Yeah, those
Dewey
two guys
decimal
had that.
system.
They had that weird like penalty kill chemistry that you only saw that speed on the penalty kill, but they had so many goals shorthanded. Just those three, they
Yep.
would always find
Fun
a
to
way to
watch.
make it happen. But
This is another big name, Marc-Andre Fleury. Is he retiring?
I think he's retiring. I think the goal here was to get the bridge to Volstead, and God bless Marc-Andre Fleury. I mean, you got a future Hall of Famer here coming in here, and the situation was so weird with Talbot, saying I want out when it was going to be Talbot and Fleury. You thought, oh my God, what a tandem this is going to be. But then I assume it's ego got in the way of Talbot. He goes to Ottawa, and you bring in this kid, and now Gustafsson, we didn't know anything about before last season, but he comes in and just blows our socks off, and he's got this future Hall of Famer, being his tutor. It's fantastic. So I think you get another year of that, and then I think that's it for Marc-Andre Fleury. I don't know how Volstead isn't ready for the NHL next season. Again, don't know what happens. My crystal ball is broken, but over the course of the next 12 months, my guess is the goal is to get Volstead in here at least to back up Philip Gustafson, and at some point he takes the torch and runs with it. But my guess is that's your 1 and 2 next year going into camp this time.
He's got Volstead, has another year in the AHL. I think he learned a lot last year. It seemed like he made quite an improvement. So hopefully by the end of this year, he's ready and he could at least be the backup and just
Scored a goal last year.
He did score a goal. He also participated in the wave at the AHL All-Star game. So.
You're right. So he's a good dude, but again, good dude, bad dude, I don't care. He's a very good hockey player, and that's the future of this team in goal. He's going to be the backbone of this Minnesota Wild team for many, many years. It's just a matter of getting to that point. I think he spends the entire year, maybe gets a couple of games here and there on the NHL stage, but gets a chance to hone his craft down there in the American Hockey League. And next year at this time, we're talking about, I think, Volstead and Gustafson, and Fleury most likely, I think, rides off into the sunset.
Retires jersey. You want a playoff game here?
Yeah,
very well could.
Whenever goalie got hurt last year, I think they called up, was it Zane McIntyre?
Yeah. Return of the Mac, UND guy.
UND boy. Do you see them calling up Volstead this year instead, or no?
Yes.
You do? Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I think they want to get him a taste of the National Hockey League. I guess, that would be my assumption. I don't know anything other than going on a gut feeling. But, I would certainly think that when the opportunity presents itself, I think for sure at some point you see Volstead up with the big boys at some point. I don't think for an extended period of time. I think it's a stopgap because Fleury and Gustafson are going to be your main two guys. But if something goes wrong, at the very least, he'll back up one of them if one of them gets hurt or has to leave for whatever reason. But I think for sure you see Gustafson or Volstead with the NHL jersey on at some point this year.
Awesome.
I think it'd be a good idea to start bringing him up, not only to have him get more experience in NHL, but so people can start talking and know how to pronounce his name by the time he gets here in 2 years.
Let's get ahead of it.
And starts playing more and more. So let's get ahead of the curve.
Also, we could be like the Knights and have 16 fucking goalies on the roster.
I know we could do that as well.
We don't want that.
I lost track of how many
run out
goals
of
they
them.
had.
I hate that. I love. Yeah, I mean that was such a gong show. I mean it worked for him. God bless him. But I love having that solid 1-2. Back in the day it was Rolison and Fernandez. Even before that, Fernandez and Jamie McLennan.
Yep.
There's an old school name for you. I love that.
Random.
Well,
And very
it was
random.
even nuts that what's his name was on the Knights when they won the cup and he didn't even play.
Jonathan Quick.
Yeah, Jonathan Quick.
He got a
he
ring.
was
Yeah.
he was healthy scratch until Brassois went down, and then he's like, "Well, shit, I have to start putting my pads on now." Him and Phil Kessel are pissed off that they actually have to start doing stuff.
Right.
So it was what a wild scenario. And then Hill comes in and takes the cup, which is nuts. Final one on here, Goose, Alex Goligoski.
Is he back? Are you asking me that?
Yeah, is he back next year?
I think it might be towards the end of the line for him too. I'm not speaking out of school. I haven't talked to Goligoski at all about the situation last year, but that couldn't have been easy. I think it depends on what type of playing time he gets this year, what type of opportunities are afforded him, and then I think he makes a decision after that. But that's another guy that's long in the tooth. That's not an easy position to play at that age. So a great guy. I hope he sticks around. But I would think with the blue chips they've got coming up, at some point they're going to start infiltrating their way into this roster, and I'd have to think that's going to mean the end of the line for a guy like that, as great as he is. So is it my turn now?
Yeah, let's hear what you have.
Yeah.
Well, wait,
let's go.
we
You
have
sound like
one
you
more.
wanna do that.
Isn't Zuccarello next year as well?
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
I think he is.
I made
Yes.
the list, so I fucked up.
Zuccarello, according to the East Coast people.
Zuccarello.
Right.
Yeah.
Matt Zuccarello, is he back next year? Again,
Krill
he stays
loves him, yeah.
he stays healthy this year. Right. That's the if he's still playing at a high level and he can still run with the young buck that is Kirill Kaprizov, you got to bring him back.
You
At
have
some
to.
price point, you got to figure a way.
Of all
to
those
get him in
guys,
there.
you have to find a way to re-sign him.
Keep the Russian happy. And if
Yes.
that means he needs his little buddy there, who's actually a pretty darn good hockey player, I think you do whatever you can. That's when you talk about the pecking order, Pat Maroon might be towards the bottom of the list just because of his role, all that stuff. Zuccarello might be towards the top of that
He has
list
to be. Him and
because
him,
of
yeah.
his relationship with Kaprizov. Happy Kaprizov, happy Minnesota Wild team, happy standing. So
Happy fans.
make that one work. So now it's my turn.
All right, sorry,
Yeah,
your turn.
Go for it.
So over the course of this summer, we had someone leave our operation, and we had to fill that spot. And so we had open interviews and did that whole process. Did that a few years ago, and one of you came in and interviewed for that.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why didn't you interview this time? Oh, you're a big shot now. You're too big for the Minnesota Wild Radio Network.
I didn't even know.
There was resentment. You didn't give him the job.
I didn't. I was shooting for the GM position. I was shooting higher.
We're not big enough for you. I get it.
No.
I get it. But I honestly had, I'd say, somewhere in the neighborhood of 50, 75 resumes, and I was waiting for that one to come through. Because however long ago that was, we sat in that little Caribou, and he came in there with his little briefcase. He had his little tie on. I think he was wearing a top hat. And
Yep.
Oh,
I had
hello,
everything.
Mr. Falness. Let me tell you about why I should be perfect for this job. And you didn't go through that this time. I'm very disappointed.
I'm sorry. I guess I just I was shooting a little higher for the GM
Hey,
role.
he's doing a lot better getting drunk and impersonating Kirk Cousins.
That's what I'm focused on, or
That's what employers
sitting in
want
this-
these days. Is that?
sitting in this bachelor pad and.
Sorry, I
editing
cut
Kirk
you
Cousins'
off.
video.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say just been focusing on going for the GM position, editing Kirk Cousins videos, and running around this bachelor pad, I guess. Yeah. Hey, if another position opens up or if it's open, I'm more than happy to send in the resume.
The job process goes out there. If you find it and you interview for it, I would definitely look at it.
Well,
but I'm not going to search you out. You got to come to me. I'm not coming to you.
I did it once. I'll do it again.
Is it
we'll figure it out.
Is the role the keeper of the chair? Is it the person who puts down the tiny chair, picks it up, travels with it? It's like the cup guy, but for the tiny chair.
Yeah, I don't know why they put the same tiny chair in every freaking building, and it's these biggest guys like Jake Middleton sitting on that chair
In skates.
they're just fantastic. Yeah, in skates, and he's just leaned back, and even the smallest guy looks like they're huge compared to those chairs. Jared Spurgeon sits in it; he looks like a monster. Yeah, that wasn't the position we were hiring for.
Oh, damn it!
Oh, and so the tiny chair's not a bit. It's literally just the chair you get.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not bringing my own chair down there.
It's like one of these chairs.
Yeah, 100%.
Actually, this is probably nicer. This one has padding.
Yeah.
I think you guys make him sit on a metal.
I don't
one.
make them sit on anything. I go with whatever. Like for Gorg, they're just gonna stand there, and it's only a 30-second interview anyway.
Right.
Sometimes they gotta wait a little bit, so I just put a chair there, and happens to be the one within reach. Now I'm not gonna put down one of these fancy chairs that you guys have in your bachelor pad. I'm not gonna wheel that down there, but it's the same type of setup in every single arena. It's remarkable.
So yeah,
Maybe they're all cheap. I don't know. But
so that's not even like a traveling chair. That type of chair is what they use for radio.
It's whatever chair happens to be within arm's reach that we put down by the microphone. And usually the way it works is we put the microphone and the headphones on that chair so they know that that's the radio interview. Then the PR guy finds it, sticks it on their head, and they do the interview.
We all thought it was a bit, 100%.
No, it's
We
not.
thought
a
that
bit.
was like you just like being mean to the players.
No, no, it's fantastic pictures though, and I don't know why they keep taking those pictures and sending it to me. It's the same thing with Halverson. People keep taking pictures of Halverson and sending it to me, but they take a picture of these guys doing their interview, not with a beer, with a microphone, and on these tiny chairs, and it's a fantastic photo.
It is
Especially
great.
Jake
It is.
Middleton.
I do love it.
Yeah.
I was just always curious on the origin of that.
It's because you can't see radio. Maybe it's like.
But then they take
they're
a picture and send
discriminating.
it to
yeah,
me.
I don't know. Maybe it's all a big joke or something. They're trying to play a joke on you. Maybe it's starting with LaPanta. I don't know.
That very well could. LaPanta and Gorg, they're probably in cahoots. They're like,
Yeah.
let's make Falness miserable, and
Although,
I wouldn't put it past them.
yeah.
I always love what they do to TV guys. They make them sit uncomfortably close to each other when they cut to them in the booth, and then they look
Awful.
they look at each other, and you're
Yeah.
like, are they gonna kiss? Or like, they're breathing on each other. That's how close their faces are. And I'm like, I could never sit that close to like Ryan Carter and not just burst out laughing.
Right.
Honestly, so it's incredible that the TV guys have to sit so close together to be in that shot.
Yeah.
and that's like every sport. Like
Yeah.
they're doing it in football, college football. It's nuts.
Well, what they do is, so for LaPanta and Carter, for example, they're calling the game and they're about this far apart, and usually they're standing, but then when they do the close-up, they got to turn around and talk into that camera, and they're shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. Way too awkward.
That's why you don't watch TV, right?
I watch TV. I just with the sound off.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Hashtag mute TV.
Yeah, there you go.
Didn't you have to step in for play-by-play a couple times, like a couple years ago when Kurtz?
I've had to do it probably, I don't know what the number is, probably 30, 50 times over the course of, what are we at, 25 years of wild hockey, something like that. Somehow, some way, Kurtz would always come down with something during the preseason, and that's where I'd get a few games. There was another one.
That's why your prediction was so good because you're such a preseason expert.
Yeah, you know
3
what?
and 3.
We've actually done every game in the history of wild hockey going back to the year 2000, including preseason. So we've done them all, and TV can't say that. and we've got them all archived too.
Wow.
Wow.
Another job that I could have hired.
The
for,
Library
but
of Congress.
not you.
Oh,
So,
I wouldn't be able to do
but
that.
yeah, what was I saying? I can't remember.
Something about preseason, Kurtz. You had to.
Yeah. Usually I would step in for Kurtz because it was a last minute deal. The best one that ever happened for me, I've done Calgary, I've done Vancouver. Usually it's 1 or 2 games, and I go in, do the game, and come out. I did Chicago a couple of years ago too. That was fantastic. My first game at the United Center. But the best one that happened to me, I don't remember what was wrong with Bob, but he couldn't go out east. So I got Madison Square Garden, I got Boston, and I got New Jersey. Bing, bing, 3 games in 4 nights, and I got to call each of those 3 games. It was Capo Kakinen again. That was his NHL debut. I think they ended up losing to the Rangers in overtime. They scored one from the blue line. Same thing happened for the Bruins. They rallied and beat the Wild. But that was a cool 3-game set that I got to call with Tom Reed, and that was awesome. So I've done a handful of games, but I mean, Joe O'Donnell's unbelievable. To me, he is ridiculous. He is so good. He's so polished. He's earned the opportunity, what he did the American Hockey League, and even years before that. I mean, he's been with the organization forever. It's hard to follow in a guy like Bob Kurtz's shoes, but I think Joe's doing an awesome job. So
When he's
the
so
right guy got
young
it.
too. It's incredible
is.
how freaking young he is. Like the first time you meet him in person, you're like, dude, are you my age? Like,
That's
are
the
you
thing,
30?
though. He's not
He's
that
40.
young.
Yeah.
He looks really young.
He does look very
Yeah.
young.
Because he's another guy that's ripped like LaPanta and these guys. But I didn't realize. I mean, I don't even know what his age is. Is he 40-ish, 45-ish,
yeah.
something like that. But you look at him, you think he's probably like you say, your guy's age.
Yeah, it is nuts.
But I think he was doing the Iowa Wild
For
those
a
games
long time,
since
yeah.
he was probably damn near 30
Yeah,
too. So
he was
he has a
doing
lot
it
of
forever.
experience.
I'm trying to think of what year that was. I don't know if he goes back to the Houston Aeros. I should know that.
You
Before
should.
they moved to Des Moines. I want to say that he did. Off the top of my head, I wasn't expecting to talk about it, but I think he does go back to the Houston Aeros. That's how long
This
he's been.
article says he did
Well,
do the Arrows.
Well,
yeah.
we'll talk to him about his experiences at Tom Reed's.
Yeah,
there you
next time
go.
we see him there.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say
We
if
gotta get him on, by the way.
yeah, we do.
Joe's great. You'd have a lot of fun with him. He's
great
a big 311 fan. We found out.
Okay.
hell yeah.
On the
Nice.
fly doing the initials game. So him and Corey Cove have that
Little
bond.
Yep.
But he's not a golfer. Likes Philadelphia Eagles football, so that makes him a douchebag.
Yep.
Good guy other than that, and he's raising cake eaters.
Yeah.
So-
Well, we have a lot of
He's
material
well
to go there.
balanced there. There you go.
I was gonna say if you ever go down or if Joe ever goes down in preseason and you go down, you need the E-Bub.
You're the
which
guy?
I'm the guy.
What about Halvey?
If he goes down
Halvey's,
too.
Halvey's waiting to be called up.
Yeah, he's
If
very
you
good.
had to have a fist fight with Zach Halverson for the play-by-play job of the Wild to fill in for Joe O'Donnell, who would win?
He probably would. I feel like he would.
There's
go.
no wrestling, only fighting. You have to punch.
Just striking
I
only.
feel like he would use all his energy to get
Right,
that
because
position.
He's so hungry for it. I think
Exactly.
he's
That's
very.
what I
don't
was
know, but
thinking. He would come out like a spider monkey.
I don't know. I think if it was for anything else, I could probably take him. But for that, I feel like he's like, no, you're not taking this
But
fucking
Jake,
position for
you
me.
can out impersonate him as a drunk onside kicking coach for the Gophers.
So then that
it
kind of
comes down to that.
Kind of hustle him a little bit,
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
that I'm an easy opponent, and then I just go behind
Yeah,
him and
exactly.
just
Yeah.
put him in a headlock, and we're good.
I don't want to do your guys' job for you, but I think you have your next bit.
There you go.
You and Halvey fighting to the death.
Fighting for the
for
E-Bub,
for the third string
Wild
play-by-play
Yeah.
for
announcer
preseason
job. Yeah.
Yeah.
or regular season, but I would say preseason would
Yeah.
be more realistic.
Kevin, we talked to a good friend last night who refers to as Calvin from K-Fan. Do you know who that is?
I do know exactly who that is. He hates me for some reason. This is another guy that I did troll, though. We're talking about Jason Zucker, of
Yes.
course.
Yeah.
Zucks. I call him Jay. J-Man.
The J-Man.
No, I don't. I don't think he wants anyone to call him Jay. But yeah, he's another guy that got stuck with me for those road tours. The road tours over the years, used to do it all the time. We'd get on a bus and there'd be 2 front office people. They'd have like a media guy like me and then like 2 players. And we did those, man, for like 15 years. And there'd be a group that would go north or a group that would go central, a group that would go south. And for some reason, there's like 3 years in a row where Coyle and Zucker were stuck with me and whoever else was with our group. And I think that's where his hatred built towards me. There's times now I'll come into the locker room. Even now, he came in for the first time with Pittsburgh. came in to meet the Wild media, standing at the podium, and he gave me the hate eye. I'm the nicest guy ever. I drove to Plymouth to do a podcast.
You did.
I'm a nice guy.
You are a nice guy. I can
Salt of
attest.
the earth. And he gives me the hate eye from across the room. There's times where, the morning scrum, you go down and you grab guys, whatever. And when Zucker was with the team, Gorg would be talking to him on his little TV. I'd put my microphone in there to get my soundbite before I can ask my question. And he would stop talking until I left.
Whoa.
And he would look at Sickman, the PR guy. He'd go, you got to get him out of here. I'm not talking until he leaves. Like, all right. So at times I think it's a bit. At times I think there might be some actual hate here.
You found your true match, though.
That's
Your true enemy.
Well, I mean,
He's
he's
like
got
the
the
same as you.
hammer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have anything that I can hold over his head. He's beautiful. He's a wonderful athlete. Great at hockey.
A very charitable person.
He's
Awesome.
also a really nice guy.
he's
too, if
also
you're gonna
beautiful.
Start counting. Yeah, he's beautiful twice.
Yep.
I had that twice.
I wish we would have known this for yesterday because this would have been a great question.
Well,
to
no.
ask him.
So we pre-recorded. We just gave it away for the true listeners that we're having Zucker on next week. We interviewed him last night. We said we're interviewing Kevin Falness tomorrow. You got any ammo?
Did you really say that?
We did. He said he just started laughing. He goes, "Yeah, call him Kelvin from K-Fan, not KFN." He goes,
That's right.
He'll know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. So yeah, you
Kelvin.
got it. You nailed it.
Yeah, he. There's a couple of times I think he's a better golfer now. But when I got him and Coyle out there, that was the thing. When I did these road tours, I mean, it was great to go sign autographs, meet people, and for me, it was to meet the radio affiliates across the region. But I would also look for the golf because at some point, either before we started our day doing these road tour stops or afterwards, we were going golfing if I'm setting it up. And so I got them. I think it was in Two Harbors. It was somewhere in that vicinity. We're in there in the middle of the morning. I still have the picture that I could dig up for you, but it is fog. It is just thick in front of us, and we're teeing off into this stuff. And both of him and Coyle weren't very good golfers at this time, and they just hit it off into the abyss. And I think we ended up playing 9 holes that day. But yeah, we got some very. I've got memories of going with Fedoruk and Bugard. Was an unbelievable trip because Fedoruk for some reason wanted to look for gnomes in every stop that we had. We had to go into like the Menards or whatever and look for these little garden gnomes. He was
collected
fixated on it.
them.
I don't know if
Did
he
he
does or
even buy
not,
any
but he
of them?
wanted for that trip.
Oh.
Just a
And we had to
gnome
find
guy.
gnomes. It was the most bizarre thing ever.
Europeans.
I had him on a couple years ago, and we talked about it. It was I don't remember why I had him on, and he's still it was a very good memory. In fact, we were down in Austin because he was remembering looking at Spam and the Spam Museum out in that area. So.
Spam Museum in fucking Texas.
Yeah.
He sounds like an interesting guy.
He's an amazingly
What?
interesting guy.
Wow.
He's a
Oh, Austin, Minnesota.
Yeah,
That's even
Austin,
funnier.
Minnesota.
That's nuts.
That's
this
even
guy's just
funnier.
beating in teeth on the ice. And
There's a
he's going to the
spam,
spam
museum. We need to go visit that and do some coverage down there.
the Fedoruk thing. If you guys don't know the story, he got his face smashed by Derek Bugard.
Yep.
You can go up and Google that.
Locker mate,
and
right?
then ended up being a locker mate and best friends. You know, and I remember having his nickname was Fridge. I remember having him on right after Bugard died, and he between Bugard, Fedoruk, and Backstrom at the time, the round table of just insults back and forth between the three of them were fantastic in the locker room. Just great. He's a great dude. I think he's off kilter a little bit of a screwball, but very active with the Flyers alumni.
Okay.
But was also a big deal here. Loved Jacques Lemaire.
Yeah.
Jacques Lemaire guy. Well, I wanted to ask about the crazy game of hockey that happened like a month ago. I don't know if you were in attendance, but
Nope.
I was looking for you on the ice. I was hoping you were going to
No
skate.
chance. Well, first of all, I think I was out of town. We do this annual pilgrimage. My wife's family's from California, so that's a different story. So I think I was out of town during the crazy game of hockey, but it sounds like it was awesome.
It was a blast.
I know in talking about Halvey, he got to meet his boyhood idol, Darby Hendrickson. He got Darby, a picture of him and Darby on the ice. Some of the other, Madonna. Yeah, I mean, that would be my type of event. I was not in town at the time. Sounded like it was awesome, though.
It was a super fun time. So many characters out there. You had McDonough and then Pierre-Marc Bouchard, but then you just have
Who's the basketball guy?
Oh yeah,
was
he was
his name?
so
So
7 feet
Yeah.
and 2 inches tall on skates.
I can't think of his name.
I
but
can't
yeah.
either, but he was
Not a bad skater for being an
Very
absolute
surprising, yeah.
stilt.
looked like a skyscraper out there.
Yeah.
It was really entertaining seeing all these different people, like diehard hockey guys, former players, and then just these guys like that.
Well, and then I loved
skating
how
out there.
before the game they give like Stilly the seltzer, by the way, great drink. They gave away a golf bag to one of the players, and like Boldy won it. I'm like, that guy doesn't need a golf bag. He
right.
makes $7 million a year.
That's a guy that can play some golf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From what
He's
I
playing
understand.
professionally up
Pro
in Canada.
golfer.
Yeah. I don't think he's quite to that level, but someday could be. You never
He
know.
did miss the cut, but
Isn't he like a +10?
he got invited. Yeah, well, he shot like 82 the first day.
I would
so-
kill to shoot
Which
that.
I was
though.
going to say, I hate
but
that.
but he for sure had the biggest crowd. So like
we go,
he
yeah.
wins the fan vote because there's no chance that people in Brainerd, Minnesota were going and watching the rest of the Canadian
No.
PGA Tour players.
He had 4 or 5 of his teammates there, from what
Yeah.
it sounds like.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they
It was
had
more of a
blast.
PR event, but yeah.
Greg Ostertag.
Greg
Yeah,
Austin.
that's
right.
what it was.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
He was
Thank you, Google.
huge.
My final question. It's not Wild related, but you're obviously a big Vikings fan. Do they pull it out Thursday in Philadelphia?
I mean, I wasn't going to come on here and swear, but God damn it, how do you lose to the Buccaneers
I
and Baker
know.
Mayfield? Honest to God.
Yeah.
I mean, where's all the magic from last year? So bleep no, they don't go to Philadelphia and win. They're 0-2 to start the season. They'll probably be 0-3, and then they get into the soft part of the schedule. But, I mean, it's so annoying to be a Vikings fan, and I am a Vikings fan. Have been since I stepped out of the womb. I slid out of the womb, but that's a different story. It's so annoying for this team to go into their home opener like that and absolutely shit the bed.
Yeah.
I know.
It's so annoying.
Well,
They got to take a, I think, a strategy out of the Wild's notebook or whatever with preseason. They didn't play any starters in the preseason. The Vikings didn't. You could tell. I mean,
You'd
that's
see the
no
Russ.
excuse. But it's like the Wild, they'll play starters in the preseason, and they have 6 games.
They try to
and-
put on a show for the home team for sure. They don't travel many of their studs. I think the philosophy for the Vikings this year was those inter squad practices or whatever with the
Joint
who they had,
practices.
the joint practices.
Arizona.
yeah. They
I
always,
get it. I get the philosophy.
Yeah.
Why throw them out there and get them hurt? But if that's the case, if that's the way you're going about it, just scrap preseason and do your joint practices.
Yeah.
It's a money making thing. I get that, but man, it's I don't know what tactic they need to change, but something has to change. This is supposed to be the debut of Brian Flores, and you got Justin Jefferson, and you
Jordan Addison.
man,
Yeah.
and
TJ
he
Hawkinson,
played well.
his first full year back.
man,
or
don't
He only had like
as a
12 yards
Viking.
too.
Yeah.
And it just sucks because Kirk was like second in the league in passing yards in the opening week.
Do you put
Sucks.
do you put the game on Kirk?
I put the game on. I don't know that I necessarily put it on Kirk, but when you get down inside the red zone and you come out with 3 points in 3 possessions, that's garbage.
It is.
So I put it on whoever you want. I mean, Cousins had a pretty decent game statistically. Justin Jefferson had a pretty good game statistically, but not in the second half.
Yeah.
So I don't know what exactly to put it on.
It's all
it's
at the
just
top.
it's just annoying.
It's all at the top. Kevin O'Connell, big cock. It's leadership straight down.
I think it would be. I can make an excuse for him if they were on the road, but you're at home. You're playing against a bad team that might win 6 games this year, and you start with a loss. Who the hell brought up the Vikings? I'm here to talk about the Wild. Now I'm pissed
Yeah,
off.
now you're frustrated.
Well, now we're
leaving
already
mad.
at 4 FCC fines at this point. So we'll just build Chad Abbott for those.
Yeah.
There you go. Good luck.
Now we just got Falness canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got them done.
No, it's done.
Jake, did you have any final questions?
Pinky out. I
Yeah,
like that one.
no, I was gonna bring that up. I think a few years back, it was at Boathouse Brewing, I think, right across the street from our old studio in Prior Lake, and I think I was drinking I just took a selfie of myself drinking a beer, and I think I had my pinky out or something. I don't know if by accident, and I think you criticized me. You quote tweeted it saying what are you doing with your finger? What the hell is that?
Trolling.
Yeah,
I
love
mean,
it though.
There's nothing personal about any of the trollings, and there are people that take that stuff personal, but it's nothing, no malice
You
involved.
just fell in
No,
the
I'm
way
just-
of the bullet.
Oh, I loved what you did because what you did is you screenshotted the picture, but then you circled the pinky separately.
Yeah. Well, you kind of brought it on yourself. You're gonna
No,
drink your
I know.
beer.
I was
All
gonna
the
ask,
guys.
is that the proper way to drink a beer?
No, it's
Okay,
not.
that's
It's
what I
not.
wanted.
That's how
everybody.
our sissies across the pond did it. That's why we beat them in the Revolutionary War, Jake.
Exactly, those
That's,
Englishmen.
that's what won this
They
country.
drink their tea.
Yeah.
My final question is, when do I get to be a guest on Beyond the Pond? Because you have my number now, so
What do you want to talk? Well, first of all, you got to get past Pat Nicoletti.
I'm good buddies with his son. You
Well,
can
see,
tell him,
and that's the bouncer. So anything to do deal with Pat has to go through Alex. So it sounds like you're going to get past that first line of defense.
Okay.
But then you got to get past the old man, and that's our screening process.
I'm a Sioux hockey fan. Would he want to kill me?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Aren't you supposed to call them the Fighting Hawks now?
That's.
I said that to Parisi once, and he absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's more racist to call them the Hawks than the Sioux. Personally, you're discrediting the Native American strength. Cam, what do you got?
I had a final question as well. I haven't seen many feet pics lately. What happened to your feet pics?
I haven't been as prolific on Twitter. I've been mostly trolling, and if I see something that makes me think that it's funny, and it might not even be funny to anyone else, but as long as it makes me laugh. So yeah, I don't know. We didn't spend a lot of time outside with baseball this year. I guess it was all early in the season, and maybe I was wearing different shoes. I don't know. My feet are right here.
I was gonna say you did roll up. You did roll up here basically barefoot.
That's as far as I can go.
Are you just like by trade like a flip flop guy? Like you get any chance you get like those toes are gonna be exposed?
If I could live my life in this type of temperature year round, it would be shorts, it'd be flip flops, and then everything else is up for grabs, whatever happens.
Yeah,
but,
I tend to agree with that. I wear flip flops out and about all the time. It's
honestly
a very freeing feeling.
The last time I wore pants and not shorts and shoes, not flip flops, was the last regular playoff game. I mean, that's April. There's a couple times I think where I've had a meeting in St. Paul, but most of my stuff is done remotely. So, everything's in storage. I got to get all that stuff out. We got, I don't know, we got the young guys. I think they're on the ice Wednesday morning at Tria. Then they skate against the Blackhawks and the Blues this weekend, and then training camp's right around the corner. I mean, we're a week away.
I know.
It's just insane.
It's great. It's great. And I also realized, looking at the preseason schedule, I know you're a big preseason guy, that we get to see one of the first games of Connor Bedard with the Blackhawks.
You'll get to see him this weekend.
That, and then in the preseason game, if he plays. If he plays. You think he's got to play, though, right?
No. Because I'm surprised he's playing
like
this weekend.
Yeah, I guess.
I think he's playing against the Blues. So there's 4 teams, and they're rotating whatever they're calling it for the Tom Curvers thing. And whatever game he's playing, I think Saturday against the Blues, he's in.
Yep.
So they've already announced that he's going to play this weekend at Tria Rink in St. Paul. Now, what happens in the preseason, that's a little bit more up for grabs.
I suppose.
I
suppose they might just Vikings it and just sit him the whole time.
They could. I think he'd get a game, but it'd be at home, and I don't know what our schedule is. If they play at the United Center early in that preseason, I think you see Connor Bedard. But I can't remember when the Wild play him or where.
It's here. It's like the 4th
Then you
game.
got no shot.
Early October, yeah.
No.
Hopefully we get to see sad Blackhawks fan though. Even if they lose the preseason game, we still post that.
Yeah. See him every time, but he's probably gonna be a little happy now that Bedard's there. That first game at United Center though for the regular season opener is going to be
sold out.
That building's going to collapse.
Of all the teams for him to land on, I mean, of course it was them.
Shit.
It's honest to God, like we dealt with Favre and Rodgers with the Packers, and there with the Blackhawks, we had to deal with Taves and Kane and Keith and Seabrook and all these guys, and they finally go into the shitter. And what happens? They land the next coming of Connor McDavid. So thank you very much, our hockey gods.
Yep, exactly.
He's gonna stick it in our ear for 20 years. We're gonna have to deal with this guy.
Yep, I'm already sick of seeing his face, so we're already there.
As soon as
face.
As soon as they get rid of Patrick Kane, who has just brought us misery for the last decade, and I know the last 5 years they haven't been a threat, but like from 2008 to 2015, just shit. And now they get Bedard. So
and they're gonna be able to get anyone they want because he's there. So
you know what I forgot? I brought a hat along because I was gonna barter for one of those cool gritty hats.
Well, we don't have a gritty hat, but we do have a hat for you.
Yeah, we have a hat for you, Mr. Falness.
Look at that. It's
There
wild
you
colors.
go. Wild colors.
I only
brought
one hat.
Goes with the flip flop.
It's not that one. I hid this one. See, I was gonna barter for that cool gritty hat because it's pretty cool. And it's a Kaprizov signed one.
Oh, my.
See?
God.
See, I didn't come empty-handed.
Well,
Damn
if you
it,
would
we
have
should
told
get
us that, we would have ammoed up a little bit.
I
We
know.
would have got more than just a
We
gritty
do,
hat.
This looks good.
we have a Ryan Reeves signed one that says
We need Ryan Reeves signed hat.
No, it's not a hat. It's a quote that he signed that says no GM ever traded me for points or assists.
We
There
have
you
a
go.
we have a
Cool.
signed
Like that
Curtis Foster card over
Oh
there
yeah,
for you.
yeah, you're a big fan. Eric Bellinger.
Ryan Suter signed picture.
Yep.
I know you want that.
Curtis Foster, one of 3 KFs in Wild history, with myself, Curtis Foster, and Kevin Fiala.
Okay, wow.
I used to call him the other KF until Fiala came around.
We need a fourth
Yep.
to come around just to fill out, the Mount Rushmore?
I got a big enough head I can take up 2 spots.
Okay,
KFs in the
there.
Minnesota Wild
Yeah,
organization.
KFs. You should tweet that. Someone should tweet that. The most notable KFs.
We
in
will.
Wild
We
history.
will. We
Nice
just need to
little
work. We
graphic.
just need to work on the 4th. We'll sign some Russian or Finnish or just a space Swedish guy who will have a KF.
We'll
We're
look.
doing.
We'll look it
Some
up. So
prospects.
you guys can fight over that.
Wow.
I didn't get my
we
gritty
no, we
half.
appreciate
Thank
this.
you so
This is
much.
this is going to be something that we're all going to share together. and share.
Wow. Kyrie.
I don't think we have anything signed by him in the house.
No,
it's the first
Well,
thing.
now we changed it.
He doesn't do like a lot of those private signings, so it's tough to find stuff signed by him other than like when he goes to Elite Ink every now and then, but it's pretty rare.
We'll walk you through our merch thing after this. We probably have a bunch of stuff that you can pick through if you'd like.
I don't
anything,
need anything. I like the hat. That's all. So you can tell the
There we
guys
go.
that designed
If
it.
you
they
came
did
to
a great
barter,
job.
you're going to
There we
barter.
go.
I'm going to let you barter.
Like this is like a marketplace.
This is
Right?
Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
flea market.
All right, Falness. Well, thanks so much for joining us, man. We appreciate you coming in, and
Thanks,
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
we'll
Appreciate it.
definitely
go.
have you back on. We'll definitely have you back on midway through the Wild season for a little check-in. We'll probably point you out on all these takes that might be wrong, and we'll get you in St. Paul, hopefully before or after you work, so we'll get you while you're there.
I think what you need to do is have me on at the same time as a Russo, a Gorg, or a LaPanta,
Okay. That'd
be a
so
blast.
I can bring the
a
other side of it.
LaPanta Falness episode would be.
I don't think he would do it.
I think
and
we
he's
just
definitely not
don't
coming to Plymouth.
Don't tell him.
I was going to say we just bring LaPanta and then
Surprise.
he sees you.
in the
Yeah.
corner.
And then he just walks out. He fucking leaves.
What the hell is he doing here?
Yeah.
Do you do a LaPanta?
I have.
was pretty
but
good.
I never really publicly done it.
Well, let's hear it one time. Yeah, what the hell was he doing here? That's I think what I heard you say.
What the hell is he doing here?
I think that's pretty
Yeah, I
good.
don't
It's
know.
either that or
It's like it makes a
And
butthead
Parisi
LaPanta.
crosses the blue line.
Oh yeah.
No, a word from Arby's.
Now a word from Arby's. We always laugh at that like Bally Sports has the Arby's ad because it
Yeah.
always comes in like the most hilarious time. It's like, all right, in the Wild to go on the power play. Now a word from Arby's, and it's like,
No word from Arby's.
we have the meats like in the middle of the game, and it's just so out of pocket. It's hilarious. But all right, well, Falness, thanks so much, man. We appreciate it.
thank you, fellas. You guys validate parking?
Not yet.
No, your car is probably
We're
gone.
still working on that.
Your car is gone.
Nice
It's stolen.
neighborhood.
Yeah, you're missing all the tires by now.
All right.
Parts have
See
been
ya.
salvaged.
Thanks for having me. See ya.
Everyone, football is back. We're also in the heat of baseball season now. It's starting to wrap up, getting into playoffs. Hockey's about to start up here soon. NBA too here in about a month. So what do you want to do to enjoy it more than just watching it? You want to bet on it. Well, we have a legal sports betting option for you here in the state of Minnesota. We have Better Edge. Better Edge allows you to post and engage with other sports betting fans, has a cool social media aspect to it. You can place no commission positions in an online marketplace. You can compete in direct head-to-head challenges with horrible bettors, maybe like myself or with your friends if you have a little bit of a little bit of an argument about who you think is going to win a game or cover the spread. Well, you can actually invite your friend and actually compete on that head-to-head on different lines and different games. You can also compete in public or private betting competitions, and you can buy or sell positions on the spread, over, under, and money line, the whole 9 yards when it comes to sports betting. So download the Better Edge app now. You can use promo code 10K10K at betteredge.com, and you can get a free $20 when you sign up and verify your ID. So yeah, you have to verify your ID, but you can get a free $20 when you use promo code 10K. So once again, that's 10K10K at betteredge.com to get a free $20.
So, breaking news in the last 3 hours, I guess. I missed it. We haven't been on Twitter very much. Allie Ray's back, unblocked by the Gophers. So, our message must have gotten through, even though when we recorded this, they still had her blocked.
It got through telepathically.
Yeah.
Listen, they knew that we wanted her to be unblocked, and they did it.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
great.
Yep. Society, faith in humanity restored.
Yeah, so
one of the biggest Gopher fans nationwide has been unblocked by the team.
I'm hoping they had like a huge round table meeting to discuss this in the last few hours and ultimately, talk through this, and they decided correctly.
Yep. Yep.
Don't block any fans. I mean, come on.
Justice restored.
Yep.
While we're going on blocking and negative type shit, let's end the show with canceled. We haven't done this one in a while. We've done it on the KFAN radio show. By the way, 10K bets. I think there's only a few episodes left probably for the year, but are we done now with Go for Football? We're going to be doing other stuff on KFN.
We will, yeah. But
Stay posted.
Yes.
But the 10K bets never ends because we go live every week.
That's right. There you
Yes,
go.
Yes, the
Look at
podcast.
you. Look at the hitman over there on it.
Promotion.
with Cameron. Hitman. He's still on the team.
He is still on the team, Cam. That's
Yep.
your buddy.
He's your buddy Hitman.
Follow 10K bets live every Monday and Thursday.
Ideally, yes.
Ideally.
It gets weird because like we had the Gopher game on Thursday. This week we have the Vikings game. But yes, it's for sure 2 times a week.
Okay.
Cam does care about the content, folks. He's driving down to Iowa every fucking weekend to go gamble. So.
Me and Mike Brown will be down there again this weekend. The Cover Dog content will be back, and we'll have plenty of other stuff.
Good.
Might even get my own father in some content.
Dude, I'm excited.
Do you guys know what's closer, the Iowa sports book that we normally go to, or the new one in Wisconsin?
Iowa.
That sports book sucks.
It does.
Yeah.
Do not go to that
Okay.
one.
Diamond Joe's then?
Go to Diamond Joe's.
Iowa's like 5 minutes further, I think. But yeah, the one in Wisconsin is awful.
Okay.
The only upside to going to the one in Wisconsin is if you go a little further north to Cumberland, you can go to Louis Meats.
That sounds like a
said
good time.
cum.
There's cheddar.
meats.
There's cheddar-filled brats there that will literally make you cum as you eat them.
Cumberland.
So, yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
All right. Like we said, canceled. Things we hate. Everyone and everything's getting canceled these days, so we're gonna cancel some shit. We'll start around to Jake. What do you want to cancel today?
I'm talking about the serious reckless speculators. It drives me fucking through the roof. Okay, like specifically,
Easy, okay.
specificity around week 1. The idea that I see legitimate like these pages again that are trying to be like so ahead of the curve on takes or some stupid shit, and they're being serious. They're not trying to like do a troll bit where what I allegedly do, but maybe I have sources, so I'm not actually like speculating. I'm actually getting real information on my Twitter. But these idiots are saying that we need to trade JJ. Realistically, we should trade him at the deadline for a couple picks for
picks.
Yeah, for first round pick.
my
What did they say?
God.
Someone like some page today tweeted something about we should think about trading Justin Jefferson at the deadline for. Oh, it was to a team that had a decent young quarterback or something,
For Will Levis, straight up.
or a cheaper wide receiver and 2 first-round picks for 2025 or 2024. I'm like, what the fuck is this person on right now?
Well, after Rodgers' injury too, do you see all the reckless speculators or speculation that
Kirk is going to go.
Kirk is going to the Jets
People
now?
have taken the time to Photoshop Kirk in a fucking Jets jersey, and these
Yes.
people are serious.
Yes.
Like they're like, let's have a conversation about this. Oh yeah. Goodness gracious, but they're serious. Like this isn't like trying to
These same people wanted Trey
Fucking
Lance.
A.
Too. They wanted Trey Lance. They
Yeah.
were willing to
Fucking
pay.
stupid.
They were willing to pay Trey Lance an annual salary to play football for the Vikings.
You just look like Tim Robinson. There.
I
That
did.
was insane. The thing that pissed me off the most
I just got. Go ahead.
was after the game they took the picture of JJ, and obviously he's fucking pissed that they just lost, and he's like, yeah, see, JJ doesn't want to be here. What?
Yeah, I saw that shit. Like
Stop.
JJ clearly looked like he didn't want to be here.
Breaking.
Like, that's- no.
Star is
Oh,
mad.
did
that,
you talk to him?
Star
just
is
lost the
mad that
game.
the team lost.
Well,
That's
no,
how
this,
you should want your players to look after a fucking loss like that.
Passionate.
they this is what the suggestion was. Trade Jefferson to the Bengals for T. Higgins and their 24 and 25 first round picks.
And they're going to be, if they get, not only are they going to be good without Justin Jefferson, but if they get Justin Jefferson, that's going to be
fuck
essentially a
is that?
second round pick anyways.
Well, and also if we
what
give
are
the
we
Bengals,
talking
if we
about
give the
here?
Bengals Justin Jefferson, it's like when a guy pays someone in real life to trade in fantasy football, and they like
Collusion,
Go,
yeah.
they like collude
Yeah.
to like stack a team. That's what they'd be doing to the Bengals.
Like-
the SEC would have to stop in and stop that trade.
You can never trade Justin Jefferson. I will say, I fucking love T. Higgins, but not for Justin Jefferson.
no.
Yeah, but then, people will say, we traded Randy Moss.
That was like 6 or 7 years.
Or someone
Yeah,
said that we need to do a Justin Jefferson type trade, and it'll be like Herschel Walker, but we'd be on the good side this time.
This is just, this is why we
the
can't.
the best trade for Justin Jefferson that has been pitched has been the one that Jake pitched as a joke. The one for Anthony Richardson,
and Jonathan Taylor.
Taylor.
Hey, no, that was from the sources, and that was just actual speculations from some legitimate sources allegedly.
Even then, I hate it though. You don't pay running backs.
I know, but it's absolutely ridiculous, and the Kirk thing, and then seeing Tom Brady is going to go to is going to go to the Jets. No, he's done.
Even though he owns part of the Raiders, that would make sense.
I will say the most realistic thing of all this speculation is Brady going to the Jets.
No, see, I don't see that being realistic at all because have you seen their offensive line? You think Tom Brady's going to come out of retirement
No,
to play?
I know.
And it'd be fucking hilarious if he did because the
It would.
Patriots just honored him at their.
Well,
No, that's why.
This is a great transition to what I'm canceling. I'm canceling turf because it ruined Aaron Rodgers' leg. And I know Rodgers torched this franchise in this state for years, and a lot of Vikings fans listening would say fuck him. But I would say, with all the hype that him going to New York, with the weapons they were stacking, seeing the culture they were building on Hard Knocks, it was going to be fun. It was going to be fun to see how it would work. I feel like we've been deprived of what could have been either a massive success or a massive failure, but we don't even get to know because now we're right back to the Jets Zach Wilson, which is fucking boring.
Yeah. Did you see what the
Or
NFL
the Zach Wilson Jets.
what the NFL their statement today about the turf?
No.
It was something along the lines of we have no data points that shows turf more deadly or is causing more ACL and Achilles injuries.
I don't know.
It's a cover up.
Like I do agree, like canceling turf is a great thing because of like injuries that happen.
Yeah.
Although-
wasn't Teddy's on turf?
Yeah.
Where he blew out his leg.
Although from that injury, like he got rolled up on, and then you saw like I don't know if it was turf related. Either way, though, like yeah, get rid of turf.
I remember
we just
how-
removed the question. Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't Bridgewater's injury in Mankato? Was that
no,
on
it was
turf, though?
it was
In the
yeah, we were in Egan.
Oh,
no.
we were in Egan at the time. Okay.
Were we? Are you sure we weren't in Eden Prairie? It was the Eden Prairie practice facility. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe,
or
yeah.
Mankato. I thought it was.
It
in
wasn't.
Mankato.
It wasn't at training camp. It was.
Okay.
It was at our facility.
Because it was after like the third preseason game.
Yeah,
after the last one,
2015.
yeah.
It was in 2016. It was in 16 because that's when we brought in Bradford.
Yeah, but it was still that's when
Or
we were
wait.
in Eden Prairie. Still, we don't.
Yeah.
You're like an old person who's trying to tell a story, and then they wait like 30 minutes of telling the story because they're like, "What was his name again?" And it's like it's not. It does not matter
Not-
to the
not-
story at all.
A couple weeks ago, though, I remember waking up in a hotel and hearing ESPN scream about how the Jets' offensive line might be a concern, and I remember saying, "Shut up! It's not relevant. We don't care. Wait till the season." They were kind of right.
You were
because
kind of right.
He had to drop back on 3 of those plays. One of those 3, or drop back far and almost avoid a sack. One of those 3 plays, he did get sacked, and it might have just ended his career. So
Yeah.
maybe ESPN was right on that one by talking about the O-line of the Jets 2 weeks ago. It is sad. It does suck, but it is funny that it was the Jets of all teams because they have the most depressing franchise. They do have a Super Bowl, which is cool. In recent decades, they have one of the more depressing franchises.
Yeah. Besides the Vikings.
A lot of
Because
people
they
are
had the butt
saying.
fumble.
A lot of people are saying that this is all the prophecy. We're following the Brett Favre. So Brett Favre goes to the Jets from the Packers. Has an off year. Rodgers is gonna have an off year because he doesn't even play.
He's not even
He's
playing.
literally off.
Exactly. So then
Kirk's on he needs an extension.
And yeah, he's
Dude,
coming up.
I'm
His contract's
telling
coming
you.
up. Hey, listen to this. Next year's draft class is supposedly stocked with good young quarterbacks as well. So that's where the theory is coming around where, hey, the Jets might not want to take a shot on Aaron Rodgers with a torn Achilles after this year.
But they have Zach Wilson.
Maybe, yeah, they have Zach Wilson. So maybe they'll send us A. Rodgers.
And
The
Mike
Vikings-
White. Or wait.
no, he plays for.
That's right. He's on a different
Miami.
team. Why do I
Miami.
keep
Thank you. He
thinking
just
he's
beat
on
him. No, he almost
You
beat
need to
us.
calm down with Mike White. Then Rodgers will retire and commit tax fraud in the state of
Yep.
Mississippi.
It's all coming full
Missouri.
circle, baby.
Yeah.
I'm
or it'd be
telling
the
you.
state of California because that's where he's from. Rodgers or Favre was from Mississippi,
Yep.
but Rodgers will go to
It's
California.
time. It's time we start the conversation.
It's
though.
time we start the conversation.
Aaron Rodgers may be a Viking next year.
Yes.
You never know.
So
I
if
know,
it
I
actually
don't know.
happens, we just have to claim that we reported it first. We did it today on September 12th, 2023.
The sources are the Illuminati. That's
Yes,
the sources.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we don't make the playoffs, the conversations around obviously Kirk being resigned are going to be very strong. But even if we make the playoffs and like lose disappointing in the first round, and then it's going to be Rodgers. But if they can make the playoffs, win a game, I don't think he's
No,
no,
probably
no.
not.
Knowing our
But-
fan base, though, the only way that it won't be a strong conversation is if we win the Super Bowl.
Exactly. No, we would still talk about it. We would win the Super Bowl. Is Kirk Cousins back? We just won the Super Bowl, but is Kirk Cousins the right guy next year? You'll see that stupid shit. Fan base is so stupid.
I can't wait till like in March when ESPN starts posting videos of like Aaron Rodgers running again, and they're like, he's back.
He's back.
And we're gonna have a same type of meeting, like except you remember we saw the video when Brett Favre came to Minnesota. You saw him meeting with Brad Childress.
Yep,
You're
yeah.
gonna have that with KOC. You can just
Hard
see
knocks
it.
to the Vikings
Damn
confirmed.
it! You can just see them doing like a cool bro hug. Like
We're gonna have hard knocks too.
This is the prophecy, boys. I
This
mean,
is-
it's
it-
all going to
it-
come true.
it could happen. There's
No,
it's-
Crazier things have
It is
happened, yeah.
crazier things have happened. Like him getting hurt on the third play of the season.
Never.
That was
Yeah,
I don't think anyone saw that coming.
we could easily like re-sign Kirk to like a 3-year deal or 4-year, like 3-year deal last year or 2-year deal. The fact that it's coming up on his last year of his contract, and then Rodgers is in this situation. An ex-Packer who is on the Jets.
That's hilarious.
They
dude.
could
So
they
weird.
could draft a young quarterback who might not be ready by next year. So we need to find an old guy to mentor him and fill in the space.
Exactly.
Before I move on, I'm gonna cancel one more thing, and that's Delta Airlines. I know Delta Airlines is the top tier of airlines. Everyone loves Delta. I had a terrible Delta experience this weekend in Indianapolis. So this happened on both my flights. When I was booking my flights through my credit card, I didn't choose a seat. I had always assumed that if you don't purposely choose a seat, it'll randomly assign you one. And I remember seeing my boarding pass say like see seat assignment at the gate. And I shit you not, I sat there and I waited till they called my name in Indianapolis, because usually they say, can passengers, Jack Leverance, blah blah blah, come up to the front. You walk up there, they type in your name, they print out your boarding pass. Okay, 15A, cool. That's usually how it goes. I sat there and watched the entire plane board, other than like 3 people, and I thought I was getting stuck there. I have buddies on the plane who like have access to Delta information, and they were saying there are reserves on the plane right now. Are you telling me that you're not on it, a paying customer?
Yeah, the standby people are probably going on.
Or yeah, sorry, standby. So there are fucking standby people sitting there probably munching on snacks, watching Netflix for their free fucking plane ticket, while I'm sitting there outside of the gate, sweating my ass off, wondering if I'm going to get back home, because there are no other flights to Minneapolis until like the next day at noon. And I was like, I swear to God, if I have to spend the next day in this airport because of the top tier 5-star Delta Airlines that everyone fucking loves, I'm going to tear them to shreds. Luckily, I think someone didn't show up for the flight, or maybe they probably pulled one of those people that got cleared for standby off the plane so I could
that's
get on.
what they do.
But the fact that they prioritized them over me, a paying customer, and had to make me sit there and wait and sweat, it was terrifying. And I know this is a first world problem. I know I'm probably going over the top, but I've never been treated like that before. And all my buddies who are pilots, some of them, Donnie, who works for Delta, were like, that's fucked up that they did that to you. So I know we all love Delta out there, and everyone loves Delta, and I normally love Delta. Not the biggest fan right now.
Not normally they're good.
Sounds like they made him. What they did? Did they explain to you what happened?
No, and the chick working the desk was a total bitch.
Yeah.
I would try to go up there. I'll call your name. Wait, and I'm like, okay, sorry, I'm concerned that I'm worried I might not get home.
Yeah.
Even though I paid $300 to fly an hour.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Well, it's a good thing that you got on though, at least.
They did win back all of my points when they had the TVs on, and I got to watch football.
There
so
you go.
There we go.
Calm me down, but
That's
I'm
so
not
weird.
happy. I'm not happy with Delta right now. I'm not.
So you didn't select a seat when you.
Which
went
usually
to buy-
you usually have to pay for that.
Yeah, normally you just get a
Right.
random one when you show up.
Yeah, you get a
Correct.
random one, or like what I do is they give you ones you can select
Yeah, that's what I. That's
that are free.
Yeah.
If to change it one to be like an aisle or up closer, then you got to pay an extra
So
$29.
I didn't do that because I
whatever.
just assumed like
They should, I would
I
think.
didn't want to pay for one,
especially
anyways.
when you're flying solo.
Yeah.
it doesn't
right.
matter.
So
yeah.
I always like to
Yeah.
take the draw of the cards that I will get an aisle seat, which happened on the way there. The same thing happened, except they printed out my boarding pass and I was on a window. I was like, cool. I normally would have had to pay for this.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't speak to that because I
Everyone, like I said, a ton of my buddies are pilots. They were all like at a loss for words. And
Yeah.
Delta is known to be like the top tier airline, but they fucked me. At least
Yeah, I don't know what-
they didn't quite do it, but they stuck the tip in.
Yeah, that's weird.
they got close. Yeah, they got close.
Yeah, so
No.
I'm sweating now. I'm done. Sorry. Who wants to go next?
I'll just go because mine's just simple. We'll get it out of the way. I'm canceling Ed Ingram. I'm surprised he wasn't canceled already, dude. If you make your own, if you're an offensive lineman and you're forcing a fumble on your own quarterback, there's some issues there. He also allowed 4 pressures and a sack, and let's not even talk about last year where he caused several fumbles and sacks as well. And the biggest reason why I'm canceling him is because today, the day we're recording this podcast, which is Tuesday, he had the nerve to say when he was getting interviewed that he thought he played pretty well.
Oh,
No.
No.
And that's why I'm gonna
He
get.
allowed
and
like
he could be a good person and stuff like that, and he could even go on to have a great career. But just what he's shown so far, it needs to turn around real quickly if he wants to be sticking around.
He's bad.
he had a low like PFF score, didn't he? He had like
Like,
one of the lowest
one
of
of the
the
lowest.
league of offensive.
But PFF's kind
PFF,
of weird.
Sure, but
Yeah.
the PFF score, sure, but they showed his pressures he allowed and the sacks that he's given up and everything. Like the stats didn't look good.
That on the highlight reel, that fumble was a tough look. For
It
him.
was.
Like all you had to do was not be punching your quarterback, and there's probably not a fumble there.
He was like blaming the timing because Bradbury got hurt, so they brought in a new center. He was like, "Oh, the snap was like a half second off, and that's why it happened. It was fluke."
That O line, other than Darisaw and
O'Neal.
O'Neal, is a true disaster. Like
Yeah.
that's going to be a problem.
How have they not fixed it?
It's
dude?
been a problem.
It's been
I feel
5
like
years.
since
Yeah.
we've been in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, since Kirk has been here for sure, we actually had a decent O line when Case Keenum was here, and people would be like, "Oh no, Goose Case Keenum was so much," but no, shut the fuck up.
Who, by the way, he is actually a candidate for the Jets right now.
I saw
Yeah.
that, which is a good one.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
I saw Joe Flacco's name thrown in there, which is hilarious considering that he was just there last year.
Colin Kaepernick.
Matt Ryan. I saw as well.
Matt Ryan, who's
yeah.
technically not retired yet, which means the Colts still have to pay him $19 million a year.
And he's a
Yeah.
CBS announcer. So
God
he's getting
damn
paid
it!
by
How does
the
CBS.
color guy.
he get?
He's winning right now, dude.
Some of those like contract stipulations are insane. The fact that he can just not play football but say I'm not retired, and then just be on CBS and collect 2 salaries.
Yeah,
What a winner.
because he never officially came out
Nope.
of
No,
retirement.
when he accepted the job, he literally explicitly said, "Just because I accepted this job doesn't mean I'm retired."
He's just on the free agent
because
list.
it would have
He's wait-
lost him $17 million.
Yeah, he's
Smart.
waiting for a call. It sounds, but if he really didn't want to play at all, he would say, "I'm done with
Dude,
football."
you thought the Colts O-line was bad last year? That Jets O-line that just
I
ruined
know.
Aaron Rodgers' career? They would kill Matt Ryan. They would allow
know.
him to get beheaded on the field.
He's
Yeah.
not when they talk about quarterbacks coming in and filling in. If they don't want to roll with Zach Wilson, it's not Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I was gonna cancel Ed Ingram, but I lived through TJ Clemmings, and he's not TJ Clemmings yet, but he's still awful.
Key word there, though.
Well, Cam, who do you
Yeah.
want to cancel?
Instead, I'm canceling lines. I was like, this weekend was a blast. We had the Gopher game on Saturday and the Vikings game on Sunday. But Zane could probably attest to this too. I have the bladder the size of like a fucking pea. Like
Can
it's
confirm.
bad. I have to pee all the time, and I stood in so many goddamn lines this weekend. It was like frustrating. And then finally, when I didn't have to pee and I was just hungry, stood in another line for like 25 minutes. I'm like, do you know how much of the game I'm missing right now?
Yeah,
It sucks.
we need to just get you a pull-up. Is that what they're called?
I need a catheter.
An adult diaper.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy now. What is it?
But yeah,
big kid now.
like I can't help the size of my bladder.
Dude, what we could do is, because you know how like where we sit in the Gopher their bleachers, we can just like hook up a funnel to your
Piss.
dick, and we can definitely like lead a tube into like, you
Catheter.
know how they're to the right before us. I think you could make it work.
You might need it too, though. You pee a lot as well.
Yeah, but I can hold my shit
can't.
together when I have
It's
to.
bad.
I know you like the flight to Vegas. You went to the bathroom like six
So bad.
fucking times.
And I'm not diabetic. I've been tested. I don't know what it is. Like it was Jack and I used the fucking family bathroom at the Gopher game the first week. 'cause
Everyone's
the-
too afraid to do that. I don't mind using
No,
the family
that's
bathroom.
a big boy move. I like it.
We didn't
I
use
don't
it
give a
together.
shit. Like, what are you gonna do? Call
Together?
What are you gonna do? Like, call the police?
Be like, I'm part of a family.
Yeah, like, I identify as a family.
I'm canceling, but yeah, therefore I'm canceling lines. We need to figure out a way, like Target Field has for their security, to where everyone could just be in and out.
Yep.
Like especially with like concessions, like just move faster.
Thought you were gonna cancel cocaine lines as helping the war on drugs. I was gonna say the ATF would be very proud of the DEA.
I don't want to get involved in any
Actual
of that.
booger sugar.
Waiting in Vikings line, it reminds me Vikings are also they have very bad lines. They're not
so
done
bad.
well.
It's,
No, but-
it is probably a problem nationwide. The Colts line was fucking awful.
It
this
was,
weekend.
okay.
It's honestly just these stadiums getting sold out and like
You're right. There's 80,000 people showing up.
there's almost maybe nothing we can do unless they put in a shit ton of
Well,
bathrooms.
The only thing that saved me from not spontaneously combusting this weekend is that Jake and another good buddy of ours showed me a good way to get into the stadium without waiting in line. Because I was so scared that I was going to have to wait 2 hours to get into the game.
yeah, the Fleet Farm.
Don't
parking
tell
lot.
me.
Ah!
Fuck off!
Here,
you
no,
goddamn
no, here,
about it.
idiot.
Here, literally just bleep. We
Dude,
bleep-
it's not a secret passageway.
Shut
Just
up.
No,
people don't
shut-
use
we-
it 'cause it's not as
we
convenient.
just bleeped it out.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. You're
Okay.
canceled. I'm canceling you.
You're
There we
canceled.
go. That's a perfect way to end the show.
Let
is
me cancel
cancel
10
Jake.
times. But anyway, we didn't have to. We didn't have to worry about lines in the cabin suite. That was actually really
We
weird.
did. It was
Sick
fantastic.
bread.
Oh, must be
was
nice. I
great.
sat up in the nosebleeds of Lucas Oil. I paid $17 for a beer. No, I'm kidding.
You know what's awesome too? They honored a bunch of the old time like 70s Vikings players, and I walked into the cabin suite like a little bit after halftime, right when the Tampa Bay was making their first drive of the third quarter, and all of them were in that bathroom.
That's what it's
And I was
super.
just like, oh god.
That's sick.
It's actually pretty sweet. So where my grandpa and I season tickets are, you guys saw like the suite right behind us. Anytime an old Viking comes, that's where they sit.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
pretty
And we could see you too, so that's what they were all going there. But yeah, I mean, I saw dicks that got 60+ sacks in the league.
That's crazy. Did
They're
you
probably
touch
all
them?
bigger than yours too.
Did you
weren't
ask
they?
to touch them?
Did I?
Or ask to take did you ask to take a picture with them?
Not their dicks, but no, I felt weird to like. I'm not gonna ask someone in the bathroom to like take a picture
No,
with
I meant
me.
with their dicks.
Well, I wanted to.
It was kind of like seeing Kenny Albert at the airport. I'm like, I want to take a photo with him, but
Wait till he goes into the bathroom.
the airport is such a weird place to like approach someone. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
It's a weird thing. I had a situation like that too. I stopped for breakfast at the Good Day Cafe before the Vikings game, and I sat down at like the bar. I was by myself because I met my grandpa at the game. I looked to my right, and Chris Hockey's right next to me.
Oh,
Eating
nice.
breakfast.
Did you say, hey, what's up, Chris?
I didn't say anything to him
Oh.
because he was by himself enjoying his
I
morning.
know.
Like I'm not gonna.
Especially
bother
when
him.
someone's alone, it's like,
Me and Jake went to the bathroom once at a Wild game, and obviously everyone in the world knows Jake for his Kirk Cousins stuff. And I remember he saw Jake pissing, and as Jake was pissing, he pulled out a video and started recording him with Jake, and that made me so uncomfortable that one time where I don't even want to look at anyone else in the eyes in the bathroom. Like,
no, you don't want to do that.
Almost want to walk in with a hoodie in the bathroom now going forward.
Also,
Someone takes a video. when I'm
beers at
pissing.
Lucas Oil are only $10, so
Oh, wow.
Vikings need to get and the tailgate outside,
way better.
$3 tall Michelob Ultras. I
That's
know you
fire.
don't quite like those.
Not
You
because
got a bad
not
experience?
since the mold incident.
Yeah, but like $3, and I'm talking right outside of the stadium in like Tailgate Village. Texas Roadhouse was there. They were giving the free buns with the
good.
cinnamon butter.
So good.
It was, I mean, outside of the lion thing, it was pretty cool being out there.
Yeah.
Real quick, it's just a PSA to everyone listening. If you see someone you know in the bathroom, stop. Like at Monday Night Raw, I saw Jose Miranda in the bathroom, and I did not
You're like,
fucking
I
say
didn't
anything.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy to wait outside of the bathroom too.
No, I didn't.
I
I
was-
was.
but-
Don't-
but
don't
here's
do
the
that
thing,
anything
though,
out of the bathroom.
It's a lot less creepy to wait outside the bathroom than it is to fucking ask him as you're pissing. So
or I
it's
suppose
I
it's a
witnessed-
different type of creepy.
you're right. It is a different kind.
I may have allegedly witnessed somebody put their arm around Mason Shaw while he was pissing at a bar. So while he was pissing, and over.
Yeah,
Like, what are you
that's-
doing?
That's bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
Where
doing
is
that,
your
Jake.
mother?
What's up, man?
Where is
Jake,
your
why would
mother?
you do that?
I don't know.
All right. That just about does it for another episode of It's a Bit, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. As Wags mentioned in the beginning of the show, make sure to go to 10ktakesmn.com, click the shop tab. Plenty of Viking stuff on there, including our famous gritty design that Josh Dumel.
We loved it, dude.
God, this has fucked me
Jay
up.
Hamill.
It's Dummel.
Dumel. He's a fan. He's an advocate. We almost need to get one of those quotes of him saying this is like the greatest sweatshirt I've ever worn.
Yeah. We'll get his lawyers to sign.
We'll
off
also
on
try to get
something.
him on the pod. He follows the page now, so that's super exciting. What's it called? Development. There you go. Also, make sure to follow us on all socials at 10K Takes. As we mentioned, we have a ton of other podcasts in the network. State of Skull, who's going live every Thursday.
And Sunday after the game.
After the game. And Third and Forever, who's breaking down the entire league. Plus, the Wild are coming back. Wild Takes is spinning back up. Gage and the Has-Been guys are back. They've rebranded to Live in 5. You'll find out a little bit more about what that's going to be in the coming weeks. And the blog is fucking awesome, 10ktakesmn.com. As these sports are heating up, so do the takes and so do the fun. So we're happy it's fall. Summer was fun. We're happy it's fall. But thanks so much for listening, everyone, and have a great rest of your week.